How you guys doing today? How's everybody doing today? So, you guys don't know how this goes? We're going to be watching a bunch of videos on Endwalker today. Some media tour stuff. We're going to be judging it very hard. But I am going to be posting it up in my Discord. I'm going to post up in my Discord. I might as well just get everyone, see if everyone's in there. Might as well just touch up in there. But I'm gonna be in the streaming chat. Anybody can go into the general chat. Streaming chat is not access to everybody. I have to let people into that. But we are going to be watching some media tour stuff, and I cannot wait to see what's new. Blackstar, what's up, man? How you doing? DJ, how am I doing? I'm doing all right. How are you doing? I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I'm ready for this stuff. I'm ready. I'm ready to dive in and see what happens. I want to see what happened to my baby. Got my drinks, got my snacks. I am good. I am chilling. I want to see what really happened to my baby. I got to know. But watching media stuff and recording all day. My voice is dead. Oh man. Oh man. I feel you, Blackstar. I haven't made any videos on that. I'll leave it to the professionals. But when the game or the expansion does come out, best know that I'm going to be touching on every single job, every single piece of news story if they have any. Every piece of lore. I mean, I'm gonna be redoing a lot of my job stuff anyway. What is a media tour? A media tour is what we in the Final Fantasy community basically means that they're gonna be showing a whole bunch of let me get the screen to the desktop. They're gonna be showing us a whole bunch of content for the next expansion, and we get to, you know, ooh and ah and like, oh, I can't wait to get this game kind of thing going on. We get to see content, basically. A whole bunch of content. I've been trying to avoid Metroid Dread content. Like, look at this. Figure this on the first, like, day before Metroid Dread, but everywhere on my feed. That's how bad it was. So, oh. Okay, so I did not know that Work2 Games guys actually got to go to the media tour. I did not know that. I heard there was a harder dungeon tier, like hard dungeons now. I'm not gonna watch the dungeon stuff, or maybe I should. I really don't want to be spoiled on how to take down a dungeon. That's the one thing, but I do want to know how, even darker. My god, that never gets old. I do want to know what's going on with the jobs. I'm getting a lot of MTQ capture stuff here as well. Yeah, kind of like the live letter, but like I don't know if I want to say smaller. But it seems the Work2 Games guys got to go on the media tour. I want to see all of Larry Lur's stuff because his is actually just precise, like to the point precise. And MTQ Capture usually has like a bunch of like yeah, she has also smaller stuff going on for her too. Wait, what is this? That's funny. Been playing for years and I thought there were hard versions of dungeons. There are hard versions of dungeons. Harder versions of dungeons, like challenging dungeons is the rumor in the windmill, is what I'm hearing. That there are actual, like, if there's a hard tier, maybe there's an extreme tier of dungeon. Which I wouldn't mind. I would like a harder version of a dungeon. Mr. Happy's is a little too descriptive. So that's why I'm looking up Larry Zur's, because his is more precise and it's funny. Yeah. Well, oh, okay, not more than Savage. Extremes are not. Extremes are actually less worrisome than Savage. I'll be honest with that. The new experience. No, 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 no. 8 hours. The Gunbreaker, Bard, Ninja. All right. I already looked at this video, as you can see by the red, but I wanted to know precisely what you guys think of the Dark Knight. Dark Knight is very different. Looks like you're in another voice chat. Are you sure you want to go to every... Yeah, sure. Oh, did it warn me? Warn me? Oh yeah, I'm sure there'll be a challenge, especially since Savage is still a challenge. But though I don't know, it's still a rumor that these dungeons are going to be harder. It's still a rumor. I don't know if it's like fully factual.
In Shadowbringers, you know, Dark Knight had its time in the sun, or darkness maybe, rather. And even though this expansion is called Endwalker, Dark Knight thinks it's actually called Shadowbringers 2. This is its job here. I think it checks all of the edgy boxes, you know, on account of the fact that boxes have 4 edges. And I like the red tattered crotch cape in particular. But first, I have a disclaimer. I was sponsored by Square Enix to try out this development build of Endwalker, and everything that you see here is subject to significant changes. That includes potencies especially. Since a lot of them change throughout all of the jobs, I would not worry about them. But anyway, let's take a look. Firstly, and most importantly, Dark Knight has a new move, aptly named Shadowbringer. You can be...
So, I've seen this before. Unfortunately, through a, through a leak, but deals unexpected damage to all enemies in a straight line before you, with a potency of 600 for the first enemy and 50% less for all remaining enemies. Now it has 2 charges. Now, since it's working off of charges, it's kind of weird, because tanks look like they're really making gauges kind of obsolete for them. For what I'm looking at with the Dark Knight, this is okay. I've been wanting a Dark Knight to have a giant screw you attack, because all other jobs had a giant screw you attack. Like Paladins had Confiteor, which now they have 4 Confiteors. Warrior now has not just like Fell Cleave, but they have, I think they have like 2 more giant attacks. Gunbreaker is just all of it is damage. That is Gunbreaker damage. That's all Gunbreaker is. Damage the tank. That's what it is. Damage. But Shadowbringers, which is kind of funny. I think this move may have been like pushed back due to what it is or something. Maybe they wanted Living Shadow to come out first, then Shadowbringers. I don't know. I would have to ask Yoshi P. Maybe one day when I become more famous on the internet, I'll be invited to the media tour and I'll be like, hey, Yoshi P, so about that move Shadowbringers. But it looks pretty good. It's an instant and the charge time is a minute. That's pretty good. I'd say that definitely helps it with a good... unless they've changed a lot more stuff. But I think it's pretty good. I think Shadowbringers is good.
Potency AoE with 2 charges, and you get 1 every minute.
You get 1 every minute, which is good because that'll go into your minute rotation. That's good. Your Living Shadow has 1, but it's not as strong.
Not only that, but your Simulacrum also gets the Shadowbringer, so yes. Please enjoy. Dark Knight also got
Simulacrum. Simulacrum. That's funny. It's called Simulacron, but Simulacrum.
spam attack rework. Delirium is no longer a 10-second duration, but will instead give you 3 stacks of Delirium. And you can spend these stacks on either Blood Spiller or Quietus. Reason it's 3 instead of 5 now is...
So he's saying not 5, right? And instead it's 3. So it's not a charge. Delirium is not a charge. What he's prefacing is that when you use Delirium, you can do up to 5 Blood Spillers or Quietus. Or not Quietus. Quietus, yeah. But that is how much you can do when you set off Delirium and you actually do it the right way. When I heard this the first time, my heart shook. But let's hear him again. I think actions taking inspiration from the past is common, like the Star Shower from Astro or the Nidhogg move on Dragoon. Maybe. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I would honestly think that move coming at the end of Shadowbringers being called Shadowbringer. Oh, man. I would have been like, I love this move. I love Dark Knight forever. But yeah, you might be right.
Is because it's a minute cooldown down from 90 seconds. Salted Earth is no longer...
Let's get that again. I wasn't able to go back.
On either Blood Spiller or Quietus. Reason it's 3 instead of 5 now is because it's a minute cooldown down from 90 seconds.
So now you get 60 seconds for every Delirium. That's okay. It's not huge. And the only reason why I say it's okay, 90 seconds you get 5, plus 90 more seconds, 180, you do 10. Whereas 60 seconds and 120 potentially only get 6. So if you 120 plus the 180, no, I think that evens out. No, that evens out. Especially if you're going to use Delirium for Blood Spiller. It evens out. Because 180 seconds, that is 60 seconds gone, because it's from 90 seconds to 60 seconds. In 90 seconds, times that by 2, you get 180, 80 seconds, and that's 10 Blood Spillers. You take Blood Spillers and you only get 6 out of the 60 seconds, that's 120 seconds, plus the 60 seconds more, that's potentially 3 more, so it's 9. It's okay, you're 1 less. Okay, so yeah, I just did the math in my head. So that's potentially 1 less Blood Spiller out of the overall Blood Spillers that we used to have. So that might be less damage, but the fact that we have Shadowbringers, or Shadowbringer, every 60 seconds, 1, our opener is going to be Beast for Dark Knight. But 2, right? 2, I think from now on, with the every 60-second rotation, it's potentially better than what we used to have.
Salted Earth is no longer a ground-targeted AoE, but an AoE immediately around you. This required an animation change, of course, where you punch the ground, and this is very important. Not only that, but after you use it, it changes into its combo action, Salt and Darkness.
So that 500 potency, why is that? Why is that? I know it's subject to change. That right there is subject to change, because that's a little too powerful for an AoE. So I see that changing as soon as Endwalker come out.
Yes, Dark Knight is very salty and edgy.
Like, if they kept it, I would be glad. But, like, let's be real.
Salt of Darkness will make your Salted Earth pulse for a 500 potency attack, whole bunch of salt. Now, since the other tanks stole Dark Knight's homework when, they all copied the Blackest Night...
Okay, go on.
Dark Knight has 2 of them instead. The new one...
he has 2. He has 2 of them instead. He has two of the Blackest Nights. One is a mitigation, and another is a better mitigation.
One is called Ablation. It's got 2 charges and can be cast on yourself or a party member for a 10% damage mitigation.
Don't get them wrong, though, because every tank has an extra mitigation, right? They all have an extra mitigation. Dark Knight still has the best mitigation, which is still the Blackest Night.
And actually, your Simulacrum also gets a new buff. All of its potencies are increased by 300, so you could say it's stronger than you.
Potentially, yeah. For the time it's out, yes.
Here's a nice little thing. When you unmend, it'll knock 5 seconds off of your plunge cooldown. Please do not spam unmend in order to get unlimited plunges.
Yeah, please don't do that. Please don't do that.
Just because you can doesn't mean that you should. And that about does it for Dark Knight. I hope you enjoy. Go have fun throwing salt everywhere and being the Shadowbringer. Thank you so much for watching, and all of my videos on the Endwalker job.
Why is he throwing? Okay. I think overall, Dark Knight may have gained from this. They may have gained, but I'm not 100% sure. I think, however, Dark Knight did benefit from the changes. But who knows? I don't know. I honestly think there is improvement. I think there's improvement for the Dark Knight. But we'll have to see. I have to get my hands on them. Also, I am eating a tasty cake. Oh my god, I haven't had a tasty cake in a long time. So let me have this, please. Oh. One of them is saying, I'm avoiding them so I can go to Endwalker blind. Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright. Let's move on. So that was the Dark Knight. I think that was a fairly good improvement. The other one I wanted to see was, like, the big three is Summoner, Dark Knight, and Reaper. I do want to see Sage as well.
Summoner. Yes. Good old Summoner. No longer a dot or ruin mage with summons on the side, but actual summons. Not only that, but the new job gear is perfect. I mean, just look at that Summoner dog. There's a lot that has changed. I mean, it's a complete rework, but let's go over it. I think you're gonna like it. But first, I have a disclaimer. I was sponsored by Square Enix to try out this development build of Endwalker, and everything that you see here is subject to significant changes. That includes potencies especially. Since a lot of them change throughout all of the jobs, I would not worry about them. But anyway, let's take a look.
Alright, the Summoner.
First, let's go over Summoner's non-summon abilities. For single target, you have Ruin 3, which is much faster and beefy now.
Yes.
And Try Disaster for AoE. Energy Drain and Energy Siphon still give you 2 stacks of Aether Flow, which you could spend on Fester or Pain Flare.
Okay. Alright, that's still a thing. That's still an OGCD.
This also gives you 1 Ruin 4, which you can use, which is now an instant AoE.
Oh, Fester. Wait, Fester gives you... Wait, Fester gives you Ruin 4? Did I just hear that right?
Energy Drain and Energy Siphon still give you 2 stacks of Aether Flow, which you could spend on Fester or Pain Flare. This also gives you 1 Ruin 4, which you can use, which
when you use Aether
is now
Flow.
an instant AoE. And big. And that's it. Everything else you're going to be doing is summoning. Summoner has 2 different kinds of summons. The demi-summons, like Bahamut and Phoenix, and then the new elemental summons, like Ifrit, Garuda, and Titan. Bahamut and Phoenix will recharge your ability to summon the 3 elemental summons. And the overall rotation is going to be a loop of Bahamut to the 3 primals and Phoenix to the 3 primals.
I get it. Also, I gotta go ahead and get my... my screen here to block out the sun. The sun is blinding me. Okay. Excuse me, cat. Gotta get my screen, thank you. Cat has a weird thing where he wants me to watch him eat. Don't know why that is. Alright, let's continue the video.
And whenever a summon is out, it replaces the spells on your bar. There are 3 new spells which are used solely for your summon abilities. Astral Flow is for special abilities for every summon. Gemshine is for single target, and Precious Brilliance is for AoE. These ones are used only for the elemental summons and have a certain amount of charges depending on which summon you have out. And the demi summons will replace Ruin 3, Try Disaster, Astral Flow, and Enkindle. During Bahamut, you have Astral Impulse for an instant single target, and Astral Flare for
Give me a
instant
second. Just fixing my
AoE. You also
mic.
get 1 Death Flare and 2 Akmorns. Oh yeah, and he does all of his auto attacks on his own. You don't have to activate them. And he doesn't follow you around like a lost puppy anymore. He will stay still. Each summon does a big with 2 G's AoE ability when it comes out. So Ifrit's abilities are high potency cast times and a gap closer melee combo. You have 2 charges available to use on either Ruby Right single target or Ruby Catastrophe AoE. Then you have Crimson Cyclone to dash into the boss, which combos into Crimson Strike. Both of those are instant AoEs. Then Titan's abilities are about weaving medium potency instant spells with off globals. You have 4 charges available for Topaz Right, a single target instant, or Topaz Catastrophe,
4 charges?
an AoE
Really?
instant.
4
And
charges?
after each one of those, you're able to weave in Mountain Buster between them, and then you do a little clap.
Clap, clap, clap.
Garuda's abilities are lower potency, but gotta go fast. Super quick instant spells, along with a casted floor AoE. That's right, we kinda have Shadow Flare. You have 4 charges available to use on Emerald Right for single
Kinda
target,
have Shadow
or
Flare, is that
Emerald
what we're calling it now?
Catastrophe for AoE. Then you have Slipstream to Hardcast, which leaves an AoE on the ground, so make sure the boss isn't gonna move out of it. And finally, you have Phoenix to finish it all off. Phoenix will also do its auto attacks automatically and still has the AoE regen. You have Fountain of Fire for instant single target and Brand of Purgatory for instant AoE. It's no longer a 1-2 combo. There's also 2 Revelations just like before, and there's a new ability called Rekindle. It's a 200
that was a
potency
weird
cure
one
on
too,
any
combo, now
target,
that I think
and it
about it.
grants the Rekindle status. When that person's HP falls below 50%, or if the timer wears off, it'll trigger Rekindle and give them a 200 potency regen. Such flavor. Besides those, you also have 2 carbuncle abilities, because we couldn't forget about you, little guy. Radiant Aegis is a 20% HP shield on yourself and has 2 charges. This is very good because I die a lot. And Devotion has become Searing Light, a 3%
Why does he
damage
have to
buff
speak the
everybody,
truth like
but
that?
for 30 seconds on a 2-minute cooldown. And that's
Okay.
it. I think I got it all. Also, there's a funny little tidbit. When you're below level 90, you summon Ifrit, Garuda, and Eggies instead. So the little Chimkin Nugget will come out and do a little rock attack and disappear. Still can't believe we get to use Titan. And when you're even lower than that, you have different versions of some of these spells. Like without Bahamut, you have Dreadworm Trance, and before even that, you get Aether Charge and Carbuncle summons. Yeah, Summoner's gonna be very interesting even at low levels. So what do you think? I freaking love it. Trying to do the rotation in the little time that I had, I felt like I was always summoning something. Actually, there's basically no filler at all. Some people are concerned that Summoner became too trivial, but I think that actually I was pressing a wider variety of buttons more often than I did before. Keep in mind, right now we have 3 buttons that we never use, the Summon 3 Eggies. But in this version, we're pressing those buttons all the time. And also, the rotation contains choices. And where there is choice, there is complexity.
Yes.
I think Uncle Ben said that.
Did
We
he?
are finally true summoners, and I am.
This is the reason why I'm
happy
watching
summoner
Larry
Dom.
Zer's videos. He
Thank
has
you
a
so
little
much
bit
for
of.
watching.
He
and
has
all
humor.
of my videos.
Yeah,
on
he
the
has
Walker
humor.
Job changes are out now.
Okay, so definitely Summoner is going to become like perhaps my #1 caster. I think. Hello, cat. Kitty. Where'd my cat go? He disappeared. Come on, man. Don't do that. I'm scared. We'll save Reaper. We'll save Reaper. We'll do the rest of the tanks. Let's try them out. Let's see.
Gunbreaker, the arch enemy of Benediction. It was released in Shadowbringers, and it was an insta-hit. But how will it fare in Endwalker? Well, for starters, the job gear looks like Squall, and that's already winning in my book. But first, I have a disclaimer. I was sponsored by Square Enix to try out this development build of Endwalker. I'm gonna keep that,
like, always. I'm gonna let him say that.
Is subject to significant changes. That includes potencies especially. Since a lot of them change throughout all of the jobs, I would not worry about them. But anyway, let's take a look.
Yeah, he has to repeat that all the time.
First off, you've got 3 cartridges now, and Bloodfest will fill up all 3, and there's a good reason for that. You have a 2-cartridge spender in that of Double Down, a 1200 potency AoE. It's on a 1-minute
1200. That's definitely being changed. It is definitely not going to be no 1200. That is the first thing that's going to be changed. Jesus!
You better make sure you have 2 cartridges saved up for it. Heart of Stone gets upgraded to Heart of Corundum, which adds a 15% damage mitigation for 4 seconds.
So this is what I mean by everybody gets a new mitigation when what is it? I forgot what it was called. It was like obligate. I forgot what it was called for the Dark Knight, but yeah, every single tank gets a new mitigation. Every single one of them, they get a better mitigation.
And a buff that will heal that person if their HP drops below 50% or the timer wears off. Pretty cool. Continuation has been
continued. Actually very cool.
Whenever you use Burst Strike.
It makes me think, though, that I think the tanks are really trying to be like, okay, we can't have the Dark Knight have the best mitigation. Because Gunbreaker can throw that on anybody. If it heals them, that's definitely a plus. Because if you think about it, Dark Knight would have like a pure heal mitigation shield, while Gunbreaker would have the pure mitigation shield. Dark Knight would have the pure barrier mitigation shield.
You will become ready to blast, changing continuation button into hyper velocity, a new attack, OGCD. Speaking about continuation and the Gnashing Fane combo, Gnashing Fane is now an all-in-one button. It will change into Savage Claw and Wicked Talon as you go through the combo and use continuations. Very nice for freeing up space on your hotbar. Also, Aurora now has charges. You can hold 2 of them. And actually, believe it or not, that's it.
Wait, I'm sorry, what? You can have 2 of them?
Also, Aurora now has charges. You can hold 2 of them.
Oh,
and
nice.
Actually, believe it or not, that's it. Gunbreaker was already built like a tank, and it didn't need any more changes. It feels buttery smooth, and that's a good thing. Thank you so much for watching.
So it was already good. It was good before they made it better. So Gunbreaker didn't really need a change. That makes sense. The cat disappeared again. Cat, you better not be pooping under my bed. I swear to God. I swear to God. Let's look at Warrior. See what the changes for Warrior really is.
Warrior smash, and it smashed good. I think if you like playing Warrior, you're gonna still like playing Warrior. And if you stopped playing Warrior before, well, maybe all of the self-healing that it got will bring you back. But first, I have a disclaimer. I was sponsored by Square Enix to try out this development build of Endwalker, and everything that you see here is subject to significant changes. That includes potencies especially. Since a lot of them change throughout all of the jobs, I would not worry about them. But anyway, let's take a look. Firstly, and most importantly, Onslaught has 3 charges now.
Yes!
Warrior was the first tank to ever get a gap closer, and so it is asserting its dominance over the other tanks by learning how to...
That made no sense for Onslaught to have to be on a part of like a gauge. That made no sense whatsoever.
Do more of them faster. Some of its damage stuff changed.
Okay, what was that?
Over the other tanks by learning how to do more of them faster.
Bloodwell.
Some of its damage stuff changed, like the Storm's Eye damage buff. It's now called Surging Tempest. I don't know why. Warrior got the same stat.
Wait, what?
Faster. Some of its damage stuff changed, like the Storm's Eye damage buff. It's now called Surging Tempest. I don't know why. Warrior got the same stack treatment as the other tanks. You'll get 3 stacks of inner release, which will allow you to use beast gauge actions for free, and also guarantee that all of them are crit direct hits, of course. And that too will extend your Surging Tempest damage buff. And now for all the healing stuff. Shake It Off will now heal, in addition to the shield that it gives, for 300 potency. Nascent Flash will
I'm sorry, what?
Will now heal, in addition to the shield that it gives, for 300 potency. Shake It Off will now heal, in addition to the shield that it gives, for 300 potency. Nascent Flash will now also add a 10%
I'm sorry. Restore, okay. Grant Nation Flash to self and Nascent Glint to target party member. Restores HP with each weapon skill successfully delivered. Cure potency is 400. Restores HP equally to 100% of the recovered by Nascent Flash, which is Nascent Glint, while also reducing damage taken by 10%, and that's the person who has Glint on them. And that's for 8 seconds. So, basic gist, each and every tank wants to have a Blackest Night, while Blackest Night is purely like, you're not taking damage. Nascent Glint is like, you're going to recover and take little damage, and I'm going to recover you. And you're going to take 100% of the, like, that's still the, I think that's still the same of what it was, right? Additional effects grant Stem the Flow to target, reducing damage by 10 more percent? Okay. Who's that for? And it's for only 4 seconds? Is that for you? I think it might be. I think that might be you. No, yeah. The flow is for you. And the tide is also, grants tied to the target notifies damage equivalent to a heal of 400 potency. Okay. So it's still not as, like, amazing as the Blackest Night, but that's really good. Nascent Flash is really good. Shares recast time for Bloodwetting, which I'm guessing Bloodwetting is basically that, but selfish, right?
damage mitigation for 4 seconds and a 400
I'm sorry, what?
Also add a 10 shield that it gives for 300 potency. Nascent Shake It
What?
Off will now heal, in addition to the shield that it gives for 300 potency. Nascent Flash will now also add a 10% damage mitigation for 4 seconds and a 400 potency shield. Warrior is a scholar now, and Equilibrium will now give yourself a 200 potency regen.
So wait, just give them back their double HP, please. just give them back their double HP, okay? Just give them back their double HP. Give warriors back their double HP. Just let them have it. Just let them have it, please. Just let them have it.
There we go. My laptop decided not to work. How are you doing, Saint?
I'm watching some of this media tour footage here, and they might as well just give warriors back their double HP. They ain't dying. They're not dying. Flash flat potency instead of proportional to damage. Need a healer to do dungeons now.
That's very interesting. But what about Reaper?
I haven't touched Reaper yet, so we'll get to that. I'm doing all the tanks first.
Okay, fair enough. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I like shooting things, so Gunbreaker is my tank of choice.
Yeah, I mean, you got a point with the... They got a point. Senior Dirtface. Yeah, you have a point. I know it's just pure potency at this point. Need a healer to do dungeons now. I mean, of course. They don't want you to be a tank and be like, oh, I could take care of this dungeon by myself. I could just go through this. You know? Screw the healer. Like, I think the point of this is that they want the tanks to just be tanky without being overpowered. We'll see what happens when we get to the Paladin. Paladin seems to be the most versatile tank. But,
And
Oh, Wraith, are you watching a stream, by the way?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Just making sure I'm not going farther than I should.
Raw Intuition is now a 10% damage mitigation,
Yeah, I just got
but
back
it
home
will
not
also
too long
restore HP
Nice.
for each weapon skill that you land at
How's
400.
it been for you, Saint?
How's it been for me?
Mhm.
Or how's my day been? It's alright, working stuff. Didn't know that this... I should have known that it would have dropped. I was aware. I just forgot. I was too focused on Metroid Dread, which I've been having an amazing time with.
So yeah, I was curious about it. So you got it. Is it worth it?
I think it's worth it. Just a forewarning, the game isn't long. So like Metroid games aren't really long. What makes it long is that you don't know anything.
I guess.
Yeah, you get lost in it. Metroid Dread has kind of the same thing, and the reason why I say kinda is because it does sometimes be like, go here, and it gets kind of blatant if you look at the context clues. But it doesn't outright tell you where to go. That's how that is. About this warrior though.
Frickin' potency. And then at level 82, it becomes Blood Wedding. Yeah, Blood Wedding.
Blood Wetting. Damage taken.
What?
Blood Wetting, which is, I believe, what it Thrill or Equilibrium becomes Blood Wetting or something. Let me see.
Blood Wedding. Store HP for each
Oh wait,
weapon
no,
skill
Raw
that you
Intuition
land.
becomes Blood Wetting. And Blood Wedding.
It's a nice day for a blood wedding.
Blood Wedding. It's another shield. Restores HP with each weapon skill for 6 sessions. It's only 8 seconds. Okay. And what else? We got Grant Stem the Flow and Stem the Tide. So you've seen that. So basically, warriors can sustain themselves. Even like Senior Dirtface, I think warriors are just basically going to sustain themselves for the most part. Though their potency for damage reduction is still kind of small. But that is a massive improvement. Especially since now their HP is on par with all other tanks. They should honestly just let them have their double HP though.
Blood Wedding. Yeah, Blood Wedding. And it adds a 400 potency shield. Man, what the... Warrior is just a healer. There's a new AoE version of Upheaval called Orogeny, and neither of them cost Beast Gauge anymore, so they were just a 36...
You know what? What's the point of having a warrior with a gauge if all of its abilities are just not going to be part of the gauge? All the important abilities are not going to be used by the gauge. I mean, Fellcleave is still going to be used, but like, who's going to use Fellcleave outside of... you know what? That might be a question better left handled by like a warrior main. But
I do have a quick question. Does the shoulder charge take from the gauge, or is that just a thing they can do now?
Yeah, that's a charge now. It's no longer for a gauge.
Yeah, it should have always been like that, in my honest opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that didn't make any sense in the beginning.
Cooldown off global now. And finally, at level 90, you get Primal Rend. This is a guaranteed crit direct hit AoE at 700 frickin' potency.
Wait, what?
Guaranteed.
It is a delivery direct crit crit direct hit target and all enemies nearby for 700. God damn it. Warriors got a 700. Okay, it's due to change, but like only 70% fall off for all enemies.
I don't want to hear shit, dude. Fucking Paladin's AoE bullshit was stupid.
We'll see, but like Primal Rend is a guaranteed crit direct hit. That's massive damage.
Pretty substantial damage, yeah.
Yeah. So, You know what? We'll see what happens. But
No,
that
I was just thinking of the paladin like AO as it is in
oh, we'll get to that next.
Shadowbringers.
We'll get
It's,
to that. We'll
Crit
get
direct
we'll
hit
get to paladin.
AoE at 700 frickin' potency. It can only be
700.
executed after using
Promise.
inner release, but it does not consume your inner release stacks. So that's good. And
I
it's
don't
a
know why
gap
I'm caring
closer
about
with a
Paladin.
Jeez, man.
20 Lalafell distance. Yeah, and that'll do it for Warrior. It got so much mitigation and healing, it's crazy. Thank you so much for watching.
So they just they made Warrior the heal tank, I guess you could say. As it should be.
Yeah, I feel as though Warrior should just be the sustain tank, honestly, because that's what I like when I think of Warrior. That's what I think of, like,
Paladin.
geez, I can't bring this son of a bitch down because they're
Right.
just constantly healing. It's like, I'm here. What you gonna do,
Exactly.
bitch? I'm right here. Hit me.
Is that Larry from Nest? Yes. This is Larry from Nest. He's taken a break from the group to go to the media tour just to give us all this content and probably the best videos in terms of the media tour and showcasing all the job changes, in my opinion. How you doing, Last Order?
Yeah, because I need to stop talking. I apologize.
No, that's fine. Last Order, I have the VC open if you want to come in. You don't know him.
I need to know about Reaper eventually, though. I'm still gonna watch your stream. I'm just curious. I'm gonna probably post the link to Larazar's videos to one of my Discord servers.
Do it.
I will.
I will
No.
I'll be looking at Reaper next after this though, just to
Oh, really?
just to sate your curiosity, you know.
No, dude,
And-
no, dude. Go in the order you want. I'll watch it later if you don't get to it like soon. But
Oh
I'm just
no,
saying, like,
I was gonna do Reaper and Sage next anyway, because
oh, really?
I genuinely want to use both Sage and Reaper.
Yeah, I was talking to my friends. I'm probably gonna switch servers and everything, and I was telling them that because I want one of each job to play. So if I can find the damn thing I said my tank is gonna be Gunbreaker, healer will be Sage, melee DPS will be Reaper, magic DPS will be Red Mage, range physical will be Machinist.
Nice. I think my caster is gonna be Summoner. I've been waiting for that job to actually be in the game.
Summoner looks so good.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that job to actually be in the game. People kept telling me that caster was a summoner for far too long, 7 years, and I'm like, no, you're wrong. That's not a summoner. Now we actually have. They said that we were only getting 3 new jobs. No, or 2 new jobs. No, we certainly did get 3 new jobs this expansion. Yeah. Who cares about you being a VTuber? I will gladly have VTubers in my chat. I'm good friends with a VTuber. Lest you forget, Last Order. Lest you forget. Still calls me Daddy Sink for whatever reason, but you know, it's a whole other story. All right, Paladin.
Endwalker Star Holy Boy, I know why you're here. You want to see unlimited blade works, don't you? Well, let me tell you, Paladin got a lot more cool stuff than just that. This cape is one of those things. Seems like it would look really good if you were to, like, you know, like just wear that on the moon or something. But first, I have a disclaimer. I was sponsored by Square Enix to try out this development build of Endwalker, and everything that you see here is subject to significant changes. That includes potencies especially, since a lot of them change throughout all of the jobs. I would not worry about them. But anyway, let's take a look.
Should really when a character has a cape, they should really just hide the tail. Honestly, the tail shouldn't go through the cape. Kind of ruins it. Honestly, just hide the tail.
Holy Spirit and a Holy Circle will now heal you. Yeah.
Holy Spirit and Holy Circle heals you. What?
So what you're saying is that there are 2 sustain tanks now.
The Paladin has always been like the wall. You can't really put down a Paladin, but okay, yes, restore its own HP again.
But you know what they say, all in all, you're just another brick in the wall.
They do say that, and I'm scared that the Paladin may just be the best tank in the game.
Again?
It was one time, and then like they gave
Then
it.
again.
Then again, you know what? No, it's probably always been like the best tank. It's Paladin is the traditional tank. I guess they want it to be the best tank. They've succeeded. Holy crap! Holy Circle and Holy Spirit, 400 potency. That's pretty big, especially seeing how Holy Circle and Holy Spirit is only a 1.5 cast time. That's nuts. But the MP is huge, so... Oh, wait! Requiescat, I forgot about that. It's free.
And Divine Veil
Oh, no, it's not free, it's reduced, right?
heal everybody when it procs.
Divine Veil. Something that's weird. Upon HP recovery via healing magic, cast by self or party member, a protective barrier is cast on all parties. That's always been a thing. 30 seconds, okay. 30 seconds, hold on. Prevents 10% damage. Was it always 30 seconds?
I'm about to check for you right now.
Well, was this about Paladin being unkillable now?
Yes, it's always been 30 seconds.
Oh,
Prevents
okay.
10%
Okay.
of your maximum HP. What's exactly the same?
Okay, so it's the exact same, but now you have Holy Spirit and Holy Circle, so it's a lot easier for it to be pulled off. For oneself, I should say. Instead of a healer being like, hey, I'm gonna give you a heal.
Well,
Damn.
not you. You don't get it.
Not you. You don't get it.
And it's not just a little heal. All of them are a 400 potency heal to you.
So we don't need healers anymore? Is that what this is?
No.
Yes.
No.
No, we don't need healers anymore.
No,
I can do it as a
that's
Paladin.
not what it's saying. Like,
Yeah.
no, because Gunbreaker and Dark Knight still exist. They need.
Well, then don't roll those stupid jobs.
I think that's what this game is getting at. It's like,
It's like, you want to roll an emo and then another emo? No, you're being dumb.
it's like you
No,
never.
one's an edgelord, the other one's just punk rock.
They're both emo. They both want attention.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, to be technical.
No, honestly, I think the warrior is the one that needs the most attention because they're the ones that's always yelling.
Yeah, this is true. Oh, they're just Vikings. Yeah.
Yeah, good thing too, because I think all the sages might forget to heal you besides, their automatic DPS heal.
I'm sorry. It's just the fact that but now Paladin and Warrior are both like sustaining themselves. I mean, Warrior has probably a better active sustain, but Paladin has more probably better direct sustains, I should say. They can sustain themselves upon like every move.
Yeah. I mean, they already have a
Healing?
dedicated heal, and then now they have moves that add heals to them. So I was like,
Sheltron has
more
been
of these.
upgraded to holy.
Yeah, I mean, they're still spells.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'd say Warrior has, I'd say Warrior still beats with
Instant spells.
Yeah. Well, I think Warrior's instant spells. That's the thing. Yeah. I still think Warrior probably wins due to the fact that they still have like, I'm going to hit you with any weapon skill and I'm going to get healed for that. That's basically one of its abilities.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Marlon? But no, Paladin probably has the better heals overall.
Yeah.
Holy Sheltron, which still does the blocks, but it's
Wonder
also
if
a
they're gonna make Aurora
15%
actually
damage
worth the damn.
mitigation and a regen.
Oh, okay, cool. So Holy what was that? It was Holy Sheltron. Does it get? Yes, it does. It also heals. Grants gradual heals as a regen
I think
effect.
we win. Sync, I think we win. I think Paladins win.
Reduces damage by 15%. Okay, and it's not just let's block.
So that's up by 5%.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, Paladins definitely are the.
I think we win.
I think Paladins are probably the op tank forevermore.
Still does the blocks, but
Off
it's
tank?
also a 15%.
Op tank, not.
OP tank.
Yep. They are the OPOG tank.
Yeah.
Damage mitigation
That's
and a
why
regen.
people
The regen
started
is
putting
called
respect
Knight's
on their name.
Benediction. Again, I think Paladin is sick of healers not healing
Paladins are sick of healers not healing them.
Actually, intervention will also apply a 10%
Yeah, I don't blame
damage.
them.
I'm sorry, what? So apparently, intervention now also heals, and not just gives a barrier.
So I'm guessing, like everyone said, they're just like, so yeah, in case your healer just isn't that good, or like, you know, fucks up a few times, you can at least sustain yourself a little, I guess. At least from what I'm seeing of Warrior and
An intervention also is like used on another party member. So Paladins are a clutch healer.
Yep. Yep.
Woohoo! I like this.
I wonder, do you have to have Rampart or Sentinel on for the additional effects to go off?
Mitigation and a regen to your target. So Paladin thinks they could just be the healer instead.
Paladins.
Do their job for them. Spirits Within has
Why does
finally
Yoshi P
been
want me to
upgraded.
play again? It's like Yoshi P's like, come on, Andy, come
wants-
back to.
he-
You made Paladin fun again.
He's like, get off of that free to play game, right?
I'm playing No Man's Sky now. Okay.
Get off
get
of
off
that.
that free to play game.
Get off of that. Well, no, No Man's Sky is you still pay for that, right?
Yeah, you
Right.
still pay for entry.
Get
but
off of
it's
that.
one time.
I'm just listen. I have to insult No Man's Sky to get to him to make him play Paladin.
It's like you're playing a game that copied us. What do you mean? It failed in the beginning too.
Yeah, exactly. And it had a Cinderella,
He's like, we were the first one to
Sorry.
fail and then come back from the dead. So you know where your origin lies. You get your ass back here.
But Sean Murray needs me.
Get your ass back here. But okay, so the
we've had it since A Realm Reborn. It's
So
called expiation.
XP the way expiation. Let me try, because paladins usually I think their abilities are English, I think. As in like old English. So so it's expation, I think. Expation?
Excelsior? What?
Yes. Yes. Thank you for reminding me of Stan Lee, you bastard.
You're welcome.
I loved Stan Lee.
You're welcome. Everyone needs a reminder every now and then.
I don't need to be
Daniel
reminded that our gift is gone.
He's in a better place.
Yeah, not here.
Yeah.
Not here.
Yeah,
Exactly.
not here. Like not in this world
shitty
right
COVID
now.
time.
Yeah. Fun
I mean,
fact.
the dude lived a long time. Not like what was he? 95, 96?
Yeah,
He was-
something like that.
Yeah, he was old. Fun
Yeah.
fact, that was Blues. What? That was Blues.
Did you know that William Shatner's over 90 or 90 or over 90 or something like that?
Don't
Did you know that Betty White is older than sliced bread?
I don't know who
Y'all
that
gonna make
is.
me cry, because as soon as they kick the bucket, I'm gonna be like, none of y'all should talk about celebrities ever again, because you're signing death warrants and everything every time you talk about them.
Oh.
You be like,
Listen,
no.
we really need to think about the world we're gonna leave Betty White and Morgan Freeman behind.
You know they're gonna outlast us all, right?
That's what I'm saying. We need to think
Yeah.
about the world we're gonna leave them.
We'd be like, we'd still be here, right? We'd still be here at like age 60, and they're just like, Benny White coming back on the television. We're like, how old is she? It's like through modern technology and modern medicine, deliver an attack target to all
that's what-
enemies. Oh, okay.
Every year Betty
God,
White gets
but
younger.
this time it's also an AoE. Now for a pretty fundamental change. Requiescat is no longer some kind of timer. Instead, it'll
What
give you
classes did they go through already?
They went through all the classes.
So Paladin is the last one that they're working on? Like they're showing, I mean? Like Larry's showing?
No, Larry went through all the classes already.
Yeah, right. So, okay.
So he went through all the classes. He just posted all the videos today. Requiescat deals 400 potency, grants 5 stacks of Requiescat, and increases the magic damage dealt by 100%. And spells will require no cast time. Okay, so
I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Stay safe.
all right, Wraith, you have
All
yourself
right,
a good
take
one.
care.
So Requiescat has stacks now, which leads me to question, why do we have gauges?
Requiescat always had. No, wait, it didn't
No,
have
it
stacks.
didn't.
It just you just have to like time it.
Yeah, you had a timer. Now it's stacks.
It's stacks.
Yeah, it's stacks.
Sweet mother.
5
hear
stacks
what he
of
has to say.
Requiescat that can be spent on your magic attacks. This ensures that you will never miss one due to ping or skill speed issues. Also, they will always be instant speed and always increase your magic damage by 100%. Now, since you have 5 stacks, you can use 4
that's
of them on
amazing.
Holy Spirits or Holy Circles, and then go into the real reason why we are all here. The new Confiteor combo. You only need 1 Requiescat to use it, but it will eat up all of your stacks if there are more, so don't let it do that.
Okay, so
Wait,
so that's
you can use Confiteor
yes,
5 times.
4.
4 times.
So
4 times?
what he said is that if you use Confiteor and then go into the new Confiteor combo,
Mm-hmm.
oh, and he does it like 4 times, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It eats up your stacks. So if like you had if you have 4 stacks left, right? You did 1 Spirit Within, and then you went straight into Confiteor. The Confiteor will eat the stacks.
Okay.
It's a 4-part
Okay.
combo, and all of them
So 4
Yeah,
4 Confiteors.
Yeah, he says
replace Confiteor. It's Confiteor into
I want
Blade
5 to
of
match
Faith
Warrior.
into
What the hell?
Blade
Oh,
of Truth.
they lowered the potency.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, that's what happened to Confiteor. Confiteor's potency got
Confiteor.
lowered.
It's Confiteor
Then again, it's
into
AoE,
Blade
so I mean, if they kept it the way it was, that would be a little bit crazy.
So it goes from like
of Faith
wait,
combo. Use it, but it will eat up all of your stacks if there are more, so don't let it do that. It's a 4-part combo, and all of them replace Confiteor. It's
all of them replace Confiteor.
Confiteor
Okay.
into Blade of Faith.
I get it. It's all of the damage goes back up to original Confiteor potency.
Also,
Potential.
the new stuff, the new skills.
Right. So
Ah.
he's not showing Confiteor's original damage, which apparently is lowered. But the first of the combo is like 250.
Faith into Blade of Truth into Blade of
So the whole combo in general.
right, so 250,
Confiteor into Blade of Faith
250,
into Blade of
350,
Truth into Blade
420.
Oh, okay. So it all it's
That's
all equivalent to 1 Confiteor.
Right. So
That-
even still 250, 350, that's 600 to 420, that's still 1020 plus Confiteor. Think about that for a second.
Wait, what?
But he said that the potency is going to change anyway. So this isn't.
Wait.
So
Okay.
the first Confiteor he didn't show. I don't know,
Mhm.
but he did say the potency is lower, or somebody said the potency is lower. I don't think he said it, but he said that it's supposed to be the equivalent of 1 Confiteor
Overall.
plus dots. Good point. Yeah, plus the dot. So Paladins still have dots. The Paladin still has the dots, circle, scorn, and gouging. Has
Right.
heightened spells. Has charges now for the Requiescat. So it's guaranteed like 5 hits. Plus the Confiteor. So it's Confiteor potency plus the 3, which adds up to 1020. So basically, Paladin has officially become, if not still, the strongest tank, right next to Gunbreaker still. So there's like no point in playing any other tank then. Like
Just survivability alone.
survivability for Paladin straight up, it's the most versatile tank in the game.
Yep.
I don't know if this is a good idea. It
I
kind
think
of
it is.
well, jokes aside, if I go into Savage and they're gonna be like, "Where's your paladin?" I'm gonna be really miffed.
Well, there's a reason why in Final Fantasy IV, Cecil ditches the Dark Knight act and becomes a paladin, right?
All right, jokes aside.
What? What?
Jokes aside, that might be troubling down the line if the paladin
Oh
becomes
shoot.
too versatile to leave out in a Savage party. Like
True.
all the people who mains paladins, this is good for them. But this is at first I was thinking they were homogenizing all the tanks, but now it just seems like paladin is the tank.
Yeah, seems like it. I see nothing wrong with it.
I think that's the end and can't be overwritten by Goring Blade.
I have no complaints.
That's the only complaint I really have is that
I'm not biased whatsoever.
Warrior whines too much. Bruh! Paladin looks like pansies, the warrior to life. Warrior to life. Warrior looks like it got a great upgrade, but Paladin looks like they just got the best upgrade as a tank.
It's like Warrior got a good upgrade, but Paladin just became the tank.
That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm
We'll
looking
have
at.
to see. We'll have to see when it's actually finalized, because it's still bound to change.
The 3
They're most
blade
likely gonna
attacks
change
will
it.
all restore
Right.
your MP, and Blade of Valor will apply an 80 potency AoE dot. And it doesn't stack with
Yes,
Goring Blade, so
At
do not
this
I'm
rate,
sorry, what did he just say?
apply an 80 potency.
Did he just
Blade attacks will all restore your MP, and Blade of Valor. The 3 blade attacks will all restore your MP, and Blade of Valor will apply an 80 potency AoE dot. And
it gets another dot. Not only does the Convenier combo give you MP, but it also has a dot. Is that what you were
Delicious.
saying, Derpface? Is that what you were saying? Really, the dot that comes from?
It's delicious.
Wow. Yeah. I think I don't know if Yoshi P understands what he just did.
It's delicious.
I don't think he understands what he just did. He just made the OP tank. Player skills also involved. You can have top level players. So here's the thing about top level players. Top level players will, when you reach that peak, will pick the job that does the job well. If I'm saying that right. Like if you figure like a fighting game, they can pick whatever character they want, but if the meta changes or if a character is better in this situation than another or better than that character, they're going to pick that character. So a tank, in this case, in top level play for like Savage or Ultimates, they're probably going to go with the Paladin. And for the off tank, I'm pretty sure the off tank will either be Gunbreaker or Warrior. And from what it looks like, it may just be the Gunbreaker, because the Gunbreaker
Yeah, because Warrior's more like another main tank.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it looks like anyway.
Right, because the Warrior has a lot of sustain, and
Yeah.
they have nascent flash.
Yeah.
But that's only good when it's a main tank, really.
Yes, that's right.
So yeah, it's probably going to be Paladin Gunbreaker.
Yeah.
For the most part. And Dark Knight does not even equivalent into all this. Like
But Dark Knight would probably still be like really good in dungeons, just from their
just dungeons.
what do you call this?
Just
From
dungeons,
their
really. But like,
mitigation.
But like, if I go into Savage and they're starting to ask like, we want this job, that will be the start of a problem.
There's a solution. There's a solution to that. Don't go into Savage.
That's one That's one solution that I rather would not go for because I like the content.
Just go straight to ultimate.
That would also require that.
No, I mean past ultimates, not the current one.
Past ultimates. Okay. It's not like past ultimates will even care about gear at all.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
So Paladin
doesn't stack with Goring Blade, so do not override it. You know, like I did right there. Oh yeah.
Wait,
it
what?
doesn't stack with Goring Blade, so do not override it. You know, like I did.
So what does not?
Will all restore your MP, and Blade of Valor will apply an 80 potency AoE.
I mean, don't do me
Blade
it
of...
looks good on paper.
Okay,
but
Blade of Valor. Yeah, Blade of Valor does not stack.
It doesn't stack with Goring Blade, so do not override it. You know, like I did right there. Oh
Is
yeah,
that like
and
spell?
intervene is.
Is that the one that spell? Blade of whatever?
Blade of Valor? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a spell. Okay, so then that'll give the bleed for the spells then.
So, well, Blade of Valor is one of the Confiteors.
Oh, okay. That gives a bleeding effect, right?
Right.
Okay.
And it does not stack with Goring Blade, so you want to keep the Blade of Valor on and hold off on Goring Blade.
Is now a 20 Lalafell distance instead of 15. Yes, one Yam is exactly one Lalafell in distance.
We'll just have to see how it works out because it sounds good on paper, but it never is.
Yeah, this looks like Paladin looks like it's gonna be pretty up, and I get it.
I mean, we never know. We won't know yet.
True, but it does seem like it's just gonna be too.
No, there was another class that looked really good. I can't remember. It was the last expansion, but there was another job that looked really, really good on paper. You play, it's like, what the hell? Forget which one that was though. What's that one? All I remember is I was really disappointed because it looked so good. Was it Summoner?
I don't know.
I think Summoner looked really good on paper in the beginning of the expansion, and then just like,
Yeah, I don't know. Summoner's still okay.
I know, but like, I mean, like with the way that Shadowbringers like did, like, you know, the Summoner preview thing, it looked amazing, and then you got this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was Summoner.
But I will say, I guess I'll wait.
Yeah, just wait and see. Bye, Dark Knight. I mean, just wait and see. You never know.
I'm never gonna change from Dark Knight, but I'm a little scared that if that does happen, I'm not just gonna be like, I'm gonna outright switch, because that would just mean that the mistake was actually made.
Yeah.
And then people are gonna be like, what the f did you do to the tanks, Yoshi P? And we don't want that.
But then Savage time comes around, you're gonna be in the corner saying, "Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you."
Just be in the corner, just be like, we'll Savage for nothing. We'll Savage for nothing. All gear will go to everyone else. I'll be honest though. It might not be as big as I'm looking at it. In my point of view, I'm just a little scared that at the end of all this, we're just gonna see paladins every fucking where. It's gonna be all paladins.
I feel confident that they'll do the right thing.
It's gonna be paladins everywhere. Yeah, but then when you feel the power, when you have all that power and you feel it, and it's just like this versatility, and then they take it away, people are gonna start screaming. And then there's also going to be people like, that's what you get, and I don't want that neither.
No, but they do give the disclaimer that, yeah, this is only, like, you know, preliminary numbers.
That's true.
It will change, yeah. No, that does, yeah.
The numbers may change. However, its versatility is still going to be there.
Oh, yeah, the versatility is still there, but people look at numbers. Because, you know, people are people.
Like, unless they gave Dark Knight, like, I don't know, a 1,000 potency move. Which that is never going to happen.
Yeah.
Paladins are probably going to be the big undercut tank.
Because like I'm
This
just saying,
expansion.
if people only cared about versatility, you would see red mages everywhere, right? But you don't.
Yeah, red mages has versatility, but they
But I'm saying
also
it's because it's the numbers, it's the DPS output.
yeah, it's the DPS output that the red mage kind of lack though.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm saying like it all depends on how much DPS the paladin can actually output. Because versatility or not, if it can't output the DPS, you know how that FF14 like end game community is like. It's all about numbers.
That is
So
true.
it doesn't matter how versatile it is. If it's not pumping up the numbers that they want, then they're not going to use it.
That's also
Regardless.
true.
Yeah.
However, I'm looking at it. Paladin looks like it's gonna pump the numbers as far as I can tell.
Like I said, it looks good on paper, but it's still like we still have to wait and see like how it actually plays out because we only see potencies. We don't know how that exactly will translate.
True. Dark Knight
Yeah.
still is gonna have like the best burst out of all of them. I can tell. I can tell from looking from that because
Mhm.
it has a lot more charges than the other tanks. Well, at
Mhm.
the very least, it has better potency charges than the other tanks. Other than possibly the Gunbreaker.
Yeah.
Reaper is so edgy, and really it's just living its best life.
All right, going past the beginning point. Yeah.
Reaper has two main resources. There's the soul gauge, which is the red one,
So Reaper definitely was made around its gauge.
and the shroud gauge,
it's a
otherwise
gauge.
known as the blue
Yep.
one. The
It's
overall
a
goal
ga-
is to
yeah, it's
use
a
your
gauge
normal
DPS,
attacks
yeah.
to generate
Oh.
soul gauge. Then you
So it's
spend
what
the
Dark Knight
soul
should have been,
gauge to use
basically.
avatar attacks.
Kinda,
Using one
yeah.
of those attacks will unlock the use
I think it was what the Dark Knight was in the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, Stormblood Dark Knight probably was more or less that because it had the blood gauge, and it also had it was not just the blood gauge. I know there was a second gauge in there. Blood gauge. Oh yeah, it's MP gauge, and at one point there was this ancient gauge that nobody remembers called the TP gauge, but
What the hell is that?
I forgot what it was, man.
But anyway, reminder for people to buy toilet paper. Stock up now.
Oh boy, don't. We're gonna have that warning now, huh?
of a soul reaver attack, and those will
The end
generate
times are coming.
shroud gauge with the blue one. And then you spend the shroud gauge to let the avatar
Did you watch the
possess you
Sage
with-
overview from Larry Zor?
I did.
It looks crazy.
Yeah, it really is. Especially since upon every hit, it heals.
Oh boy. And I thought that was supposed to be the shield job.
Basically is.
I'm sure is perfectly safe.
Mhm.
Once in your spooky
So you use the red gauge in order to empower the blue gauge so that you can bring out your avatar, which has its own gauge.
What?
There's 3 gauges.
We heard you like gauges. So put a gauge in your gauge with another gauge.
mode, you go real fast and you
Get more
alternate
gauges.
attacks, and you finish it
Yeah, I
off
think we
with a
need more.
big 1000 potency casted attack
1000
called
potency,
Communio.
Jesus.
Also, this graphic is just a single target. There's also AoE versions of this stuff.
Oh
so
my
for the
goodness.
normal attacks that
Where
generate
is
your soul
Reaper
gauge,
gonna
Reaper
start?
is a
Where is the job gonna be?
Reaper Uda.
Ulda? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
melee, and thus it must have a 1-2-3 combo. It is known. And that combo is
Ulda.
Slice into Waxing Slice into Infernal Slice. All of which will increase your soul gauge, which is the red one.
On my way
Then
there,
for
I'm gonna
AoE,
like to
you
pick
have
up
an
Reaper.
AoE
I'm gonna
combo,
go like head
Spinning
at
Scythe
Nanamo.
into
Where is she anyway?
I have no idea. Well, she's still in her like
In her room? I don't think you can go in there.
palace or whatever.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know where she is.
Nightmare Scythe. Please do not
I mean, the
use
only one
this
that left
on
was
single
Raubon,
target.
right?
And then
Like
there
for,
are
what
two
do
normal
you call this?
attacks that are on charges. This
Alamigo?
is Soul Slice for single target.
Who's this?
and
Who's
Soul
that, Alamigo?
Raubon?
Oh yeah, he is there. He's a representative.
Yeah.
He was let go, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
He was
And now
like,
Pippin is the new Raubon.
right.
Yeah.
How's that gonna work?
Well, he has two arms, so he's already like at an advantage, right? So
2 arms holding up one of Robon's swords,
yeah,
which is basically a great sword for him.
It's not about the size, Sync. It's about the heart, okay?
Okay.
Got the power of heart.
You know, if Pippin really did have a heart, why did he gate us all off in the beginning of that expansion of Stormblood, huh?
You do not blame Alarafell for the failings of its masters, you know, Yoshi P and developers.
Listen, Raban let me go through. Pippin was the only one who was just like, nah.
No, Raban was a bitch to me. Okay? Like, literally, like 2 days after was the only time I was able to get through. It was like, oh my god.
Listen, I had to wake up like 3 in the morning, right? And Pippin was sitting there. I'm like, there's nobody here.
Oh, that's good for you. I wanted the normal sleep schedule.
I'm gonna do Pippin now. I can do Pippin! Ah!
Oh my god.
Oh my
Scythe
goodness.
for AoE. These will generate a whopping 50
How many of the
soul
WoW
gauge.
players do you
Okay,
think
so
are
that-
going to leave from any kind of like blockage like that? Because that was a real test of patience.
How many WoW players?
Yeah.
How much you want to
How
bet?
many do you think will like give a negative review?
How much you want to bet that the WoW players are the ones who are going to get through, and all the
Oh my
normal
god.
players, all the normal players are going to be like, "What the fuck is happening? Why is this happening to us?" And all the WoW players are the ones who are getting through. They're like,
That's
"I don't know
okay.
what you're talking about. I'm having a great time."
That's okay. Pyromancer deserves the best, man.
Pyromancer, my god, he's like his whole life changed because of the game. I don't even know what
know.
to say about that. Like his whole life changed.
I know it's such a story with those guys. I was like, oh, huh? What?
He ripped down all the WoW paraphernalia off the wall and just like replace, and now he's getting into the lore. So.
You know, it's really heartwarming to see that though, because like they're really into it.
It makes me happy, but like
Yeah.
the beginning made me sad because he bought thousands of dollars, literal thousands of dollars of WoW stuff. And he's like, I pull all my WoW junk in the closet. Oh, somebody was like, "Where's all your WoW stuff? Did you sell it?" And he was like, "No, I didn't sell it. It's in the closet."
Oh no.
It's all in the closet. I'm like,
It's all in
"Oh."
the closet.
It's all in
I
the
mean, yeah, he wants to hold on to it.
It's thousands of dollars, man. Unless he wants to
just
sell
sell
it.
Yeah.
If he wants to sell it, he could.
He
But
should.
the value's
That's why
going
he makes
down.
it-
I can tell you that.
But for him, it's like the memories, right? Like you know.
Right. He can go back, pick it out, and be like, "See, I got this when I was like 18." And
But I would still sell it because you can buy memories, you know. It's...
I don't know. There might be something for it. Like he keeps it in the closet or he keeps it in storage. Maybe because he wants to hold the memories close. Because
Yeah.
that's like his original stuff that he bought with his money.
Yep.
So I feel you.
That was the normal stuff. Next are the
I'm looking at
avatar attacks,
Reaper.
all of which will cost 50
The gauge is very deceptive.
I'm seeing this gauge.
Not the gauge, but the buttons are very deceptive. They do a lot more than what those few buttons entail.
Yeah, Larry Zora has such
There's
a noob
Bloodstalk for single
button
target
layout.
and Grim
Yeah, I respect it.
Gross. That's gross, man.
I respect it.
There's no life to it. There's no flair.
I still respect it. He doesn't need to be like everybody else with their the gauge is all the way at the top corner of the goddamn screen, or having one gauge here, one gauge here, one gauge here. I'm like, bro,
If you see mine, you would faint from all the clutter.
what happened to just keeping it simple?
Swath for a cone AoE.
Yeah, that's not-
Both
that's
of
not
these
what we're
will
all
unlock
about, man.
one
We're,
Soul Reaver attack. Then there's an
You're
Gen
additional
Z,
one on a
man.
minute
Okay.
cooldown called Gluttony. This is a big potency AoE that
It
gives you
was-
2 Soul Reaver attacks.
my goodness.
Now on to the Soul Reaver attacks. There's
It
3
does
of them.
really, like,
And these are the
Reaper
ones
looks
that
amazing.
generate
Like,
10
it's
Shroud Gauge, the
animations
blue one.
look
For single
Yeah.
target,
just
there's Gibbet
so
and
good.
Gallows.
It
These
does.
are the ones with positionals, and when you use one of them,
Oh,
it
so it
will
does have
enhance the
positionals.
other one. So you will be alternating uses of these. As a side note, these
Wait,
will
that's
also
an important
alter your
question. Does it have a
Bloodstock,
res?
but that just happens
Does it
anyway.
have
You
what?
don't really
A res.
No.
have
Damn
to
it.
think about it. It's just the button changes. And
Not
the
playing that
AoE
class
Soul
then.
Reaver attack is called Guillotine,
Most-
which is a cone.
most jobs
Once
don't
you've
have
got
reses.
50 Shroud Gauge,
Paladin
it's
doesn't
time to
have a res.
spend it on End Shroud.
Not playing that
To
job then,
end,
too.
I quote,
Huh?
I'm not playing that job then too. Red mage all the way, baby.
Wow, you're You're a simple bitch, aren't you?
I am.
You just
I
you just
am.
want everything in one job, huh?
Well, yeah, I want everything in one job. Okay, I want all my shields, all my heals, all my reses, all my DPS in one job.
I guess Red Mage does have a shield now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I guess I don't know if it's a shield or just a
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's
buff.
gonna like fall in like one hit, but
Quote,
Better
offer
than
your
nothing.
flesh as a vessel to your avatar? You get a whole makeover with glowing
You
red
sacrifice
eyes and
your
glowing
flesh to
arms
your
and
avatar.
probably a whole
My
slew
God.
of back problems that, but hey, you do more damage
delicious.
now. Your Soul Reaver and Avatar attacks will now transform into their Lemure versions. Okay, so
Soul
basically
Reaver,
you
huh?
have 5 available Lemure Shroud stacks. When you spend these on the upgraded Soul Reaver attacks, they will burn up and allow you to use the upgraded Avatar attacks. So for single target, you will do this. Void Reaping into Cross Reaping, which will burn up 2 Shroud stacks and allow you to use Lemure's Slice. You do that combo twice,
Oh,
you
man,
will
those
have 1 stack
animations.
left to use on
not
Communio,
fair, it's so
the
flashy.
big finisher. Then instead for AoE, you'll do 2 Grim Reaping into a
Look at
Lemure's
those swirls.
Sight, and you do that combo twice and finish it off with a Communio.
Okay, Reaper
and that
is just
the core loop. It may sound a
Look at
little
those-
strange, but once you play it,
It
it's
looks like
actually
I'm
very
watching a
intuitive
freaking
and
like Street
flows
Fighter
super well.
fight.
I was pushing the wrong
I feel like I'm
buttons.
watching
those
an
are
anime
nice.
here.
Not as I do, but that's not
Well,
all.
yeah,
You've
got
got
like
an
you know
array
those
of
like
tools to help you
swirly
out. The
paint
most
thingies
important
that
tool
reminds
is
me of
this
Street Fighter
debuff that
4.
needs to be on your targets
Street
at
Fighter
all
4?
times.
Yeah,
It's called
Street Fighter
Death
4 ones they were
Design,
using
of
the
course.
paint
It increases
effects.
the damage that you
I
deal
believe my
to said
history with
target
that
by
game.
10%.
I don't
Shadow
really
of
see
Death
that.
is your
I
single
see,
target version of this,
uh,
and Whirl of Death is your AoE version.
Oh,
I
this
did
looks
not
so
keep
good.
it
I
going
see,
because I'm a big old dummy and I cannot read.
whatchamacallit?
Reaper's
What's
ranged
it called?
attack is called Harp, and
Hellsing?
interestingly, it has
The anime?
last time.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
link
yeah,
I
is
see
there.
Hellsing
There's 2
in
gap
this,
closers,
just
like-
Hell's
Yeah,
Ingress
that's
and Hell's
very Hellsing.
Egress. One of them jumps you forward, the other one jumps you back. And when you use one, the other one changes back to a teleport to bring you back to your Hell's Gate that you left behind.
Your
It's called a
Hell's Gate.
And this will also make your
Looks so
Harp instant
good.
cast. And
It does.
Reaper has utility.
Leveling Paladin
There's
first. Nope,
Arcane
nope.
Crest. It's a shield
Oh, they have Arcane Crest. They nullify damage 10%
Wait, what?
of max HP, which probably isn't a lot, but that's still
No,
okay.
it's better than nothing.
Grants Crest of Time return to self and nearby party members within a radius of 15 yalms. The barrier is completely absorbed. Oh, so when you lose it, you just you give everybody else
I wonder how
What does
many
that do?
samurais we're still gonna see in the expansions, considering that this is coming out.
oh my gosh, it gives a gradual heal. It's not big, but it's 100 potency.
Mm-hmm.
that you
Arcane.
put on yourself.
Okay,
That's
nobody.
10% of your HP and lasts 5 seconds. If it breaks, you get a regen on
Oh
every
my god, it's a Blackest Night, but but not as good. Maybe I should say it's a Blackest Night, but more supportive.
Is it just to itself, or it can also be
It's to
a
itself.
targeting?
It's
Oh,
to
only
itself.
to itself.
Yeah. So his shield breaks and everybody gets like a gradual heal.
everybody.
So do
Hell,
that's
that-
really
and
good.
this is a
Yeah,
fun
do
one.
that on
There's
the AoE,
Arcane Circle.
break the
shield, and
3%
everybody gets a
damage buff
gradual
for
heal, help
everybody
support.
around you for 20 seconds. But the real kicker is that
Wait,
there's
can he
always
just do
5
that? Wait, hold on.
Arcane Circle. It's a 3% damage buff for every
Oh, okay,
Can you,
3%.
can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Pokey?
What's up, man?
Okay, so Savage Party's gonna need 1 Paladin, 1 Gunbreaker,
Yeah,
It-
Paladins are looking really, really busted, to say the least.
and definitely 1 Reaper, because Reaper has good party support.
Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. How about 2 paladins, 4 reapers, and just like 2 white mages just doing damage?
I think they need a Sage. I think they want to
They're
Sage.
gonna need a Sage
Red mage. Red mage.
and White Mage's level 90 ability kind of blows.
But which one is gonna be the pure DPS healer?
Oh, it's definitely gonna be White Mage. But
Okay.
Right.
It's like White Mage's level 90 ability kind of blows
Oh.
because it
What
only
is it?
procs it procs when you take damage
Oh, that's dumb.
on a 3-minute cooldown.
That's really dumb.
Yes. I'll just watch all the media tour videos for all the classes. I just didn't go into Reaper or Sage,
Mm.
so I kind of want to go in those blind. But yeah, everybody else is looking kind of cool except for White Mage's level 90 ability, Astros, Seal Mechanic, and Scholar in general.
Oh no.
Scholar doesn't look like they have much going on for him.
Hold on, I'm in the dungeon.
Circle sacrifice, blah blah blah.
I heard Dark Knight. Everybody's really upset about that too.
It's one of those. It's one of those that there is an improvement in there, but it's like not the improvement that
Everybody was looking for.
It feels like, because now I've seen the media tours, it feels like Dark Knight didn't get much compared to all the other tanks.
Oh, they got shafted.
Like even Gunbreaker has something better. Like their shield does a hell of a lot better, even still. And
Yeah.
Warriors are just going to stay alive, from what I'm looking at.
I was looking at all the stuff, like everything heals now for like a lot of the tanks that I'm looking at.
Right.
Like a lot of their stuff just heals, and it's kind of just like
Dark Knight doesn't. Yeah, Dark Knight doesn't have much of a self-sustain.
No, they don't. When they used to.
Like unless
it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Wait, so they didn't add any new self-sustain for the Dark Knight? It's still the same?
No.
Nope.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Right?
Yes.
Right? So
bye-bye, Sync. Bye-bye.
So that now it just like looks like what's the point? Do you think that we're going to use Blackest Night every time?
And Blackest Night at current content most times doesn't proc.
Yep.
So you just lose MP.
Bro,
it's still a good cooldown, but the benefit that you'll get from using the Blackest Night, if you're at like good gear, is probably not going to proc.
No.
And you're just going to get screwed.
So you're going to have to wear crap gear on purpose.
No, like if you're playing like EX Extremes or Savages, it'll proc. But if you're like good gear and normal content, it's not going to proc.
It's sustain is the problem. If every tank has a sustain, the Dark Knight just doesn't have a good sustain. That's a problem.
But Sync, it has 2 health bars. Sync, 2 health bars.
Oh yeah, that Blackest Night, man, will last a long time, won't it?
Not the Blackest Night. I'm talking about what it goes, Living Dead and Walking Dead.
Don't even joke. That is still the worst thing they've ever invented. It's still the worst thing I've ever seen. Like,
as long as you have a White Mage, it's essentially 2 health bars and like 9 seconds of invulnerability.
If nothing changes by Endwalker's release, best know that I'm going to go through all the tanks and I'm going to be like, Yoshi P, we need to talk. You and me. This video is for you. We need to talk.
Yoshi P, one-on-one meeting with Sync
I
Weaver.
don't know what they're doing with Scotland.
That's a good question.
I don't think they know what they're doing with Scholar either.
Everybody around you for 20 seconds.
Isn't it a different person is in charge of each one? Or like there's like certain people doing a certain set of jobs?
I think there. I want to say there is, but they all have to collaborate in some form or fashion.
Right, but it's mainly like this person has like 1, 2, 3 jobs. This one has this one. I think that's what it was like last time.
I don't know what the vision for Scholar to be outside of a support healer, but we already have a support healer that's an Astro.
Let me see. I'm going to take a look at Scholar real quick.
That applies utility. Where Scholar,
the original.
I like the
healer.
change to
well, everybody else is going to be
energy
playing
drain,
with the
where
shiny
energy drain
new
no
sage.
longer
You instead
takes
are going to be
MP,
a dedicated
Mhm.
scholar because you're educated.
they
and you
took
have a
that
book.
MP that you would get from
But
energy
first,
drain
I have a
and added it to
disclaimer.
Aether So now you would get 20% MP restoration from Aether Flow every 60 seconds, which is really good.
That's really good, yeah.
Because it doesn't so like with scholars got punished for using energy drain, because
Mhm.
either they were if they didn't use energy drain and they had stacks, they'll overcap on stacks, which means like if you're doing like raiding content, that's a DPS loss.
Oh.
And if you're doing normal content and you happen to die, you can pop Aether Flow, but you lose if you need MP still. You will lose the stacks that you'll get from Aether Flow. There's also dissipation, but you get punished from using dissipation because you lose your fairy. And if your OGCDs are on cooldown, you're screwed anyways. Which I think that the if
Sponsored by Square
stacks
Enix.
are being consumed for the
Worry about that.
OGCDs,
But anyway,
they
let's
should
take a-
be
This is an instant
taken
cast
off of cooldown.
spammable AoE. Scholar's GCD
Like,
shields
kinda like
were
how,
super buffed. Adlo will now be a
forgot that.
180%.
The single target heal Aether Flow ability, I think that it should kind of function like that, but maybe it would be a little bit too overpowered for Scholar. But then again, they're using stacks, and they only get 3 stacks per 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Shield,
See,
and Sucker
it looks
is a
like they
160%
didn't.
shield.
See, with Scholar
Scholar is
becoming
gonna still be
coming from
big
a
with
shield
PUBG's
healer
shield
to
healer.
a
And not only
pure,
that,
became
the
a pure
Flame
healer,
Tactics,
right?
The one that spreads your
Oh no,
aggro
which one
kill to
became the pure? No,
everybody
it's a
is on
shield
the
healer,
90s.
and Astro became the pure healer, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Astro, they took away the
Nocturnal.
use sets, and they took
Yeah.
away sleeve draw,
Alright.
and they moved Minor Arcana to level 70, reverted it back to Stormblood, and then they changed Divination to Divination just a 2-minute cooldown that gets 6% flat damage, and
Okay.
then they reverted the seals to self buffs.
Mm.
And they reverted draws to 2 charges, where instead of getting 8% MP back, you'll get 5% MP back, so 500 MP per
Mhm.
draw on 2 charges, and you only get each draw gives you 1 redraw.
Oh, each draw gives you 1 redraw.
Yeah, so you don't get redraws not on 3 charges anymore. You only
Okay.
can redraw on each draw.
That's downgrade. If I'm hearing that right.
Not exactly, because again, divination is not tied to cards anymore. So the Astro opener got easier because you're not fishing for cards to get 3 seals to get the 6% buffs, and you don't have to worry about making the seals match to get the DPS buff. You can just pop it every 60 seconds. I mean, every 120 seconds, and that's not worried about. You still have to worry about seals if you're doing high end damage. In a high end raid, due to 3 seals giving you the damage buff. Three different seals gives you the damage buff. One seal type, if they're all the same, you get an MP buff, and then 2 different seals will give you knock down your recast time. Kind of like
Okay.
how I forgot the name of that ability. I'm derping right now. I can pull up. I have Astro right here. Light speed. It's just a weakened light speed.
Did they keep light speed?
Yes, they kept light speed the
Okay,
same.
good.
They buffed Earthly Star.
Okay.
All the actions that required the sex are now function as Durano sex. What else? The Celestial Intersection has 2 charges now.
Mhm.
After level 80, the level 90 skill functions like Machinist is the Machinist fire. The ability that you throw on the ad and then it compiles the damage, and then it does the damage at the end.
But like that, yeah. So it acts like that instead. Okay.
It functions like that, but instead, it'll compile the damage, and then you'll be healed equivalently.
Oh, okay. So it heals instead of damages.
Yeah, that's the level 90 ability.
Okay.
Okay, let me take a look. So, Dark Knight.
Oh, Sync, you're using the stuff I gave you. There's actually Reddit put up the Final Fantasy Reddit put up a really good comprehension of all the jobs and all the specific changes. So I can give you that. Let me DM you that.
Okay, that's only for level 80.
Oh, no,
yeah.
that ain't good, though.
Yeah, Dark Knight went through the least amount of changes, and where
Okay, so it's not let me do that.
why?
It's because it's perfect the way it is.
Why? Why do all the other tanks have better sustained? I don't get it.
So that's a playlist of all the jobs, and they go into detail what changed, what didn't. Monk got a complete rework, basically. So Monk's a new job as well.
Monk, if a rework for the better or for the worse, do you think?
It's better. I would say.
Debatable from what people are saying.
Okay.
I would unless we get our hands on it. I think it
Yeah,
just
we won't be.
I'll say this for the casuals, the casual players, it eases a lot of stuff up that was complicated about Monk. But a lot of hardcore Monk players is probably not going to like the changes,
Oh,
if that makes sense.
yeah, I get it.
Like kind of how Machinist got reworked and Dark Knight got reworked, where it eased up a lot of stuff just to make it more casual friendly. But a lot of hardcore players didn't like the changes. The same thing, basically.
Let me see. Give me a second here. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Cause I just want to know. I just want to know. Oh.
Like I see Dark Knight and Scholar getting changes, like 5.05 or something like that.
It just doesn't seem like they
cared.
like they said like, oh, Dark Knight's in a good place, and then watch what happens when Dark Knight doesn't get used at all. And then I'm gonna be like, well,
I don't see Dark Knight for like someone just picking up the job and playing is in a good place. For people playing anything else, it's okay, but all the tanks are doing stuff doing stuff better than Dark Knight. Like Dark Knight's Delirium got changed to how Warriors Delirium works now.
Similar to the ranged attacks we covered a little while ago.
So instead of getting 5 GCDs, you get 3 stacks.
okay, I got one right here. So okay, Abyssal Drain's range is longer. Okay, it's still a 60-second recast time. It's only one, and it only does cure potency of 2.
Abyssal Drain will also have its range
It sounds so painful.
its duration
Basically, if you don't know anything else but the Dark Knight exists, it's a good job.
Oh my goodness.
Like I personally still stand by the stances. I don't like the modernization of the classes.
Right.
I feel like each class should still do something different that everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
But that's not the route they're going. It's more so play what job you like. It basically does the same thing.
I think.
But then again, I feel like the meta is being controlled this way, where people just play what they want to play instead of certain jobs not being able to enter raids because people will prefer other jobs.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Kind of like how it happened in Stormblood, where nobody took White Mage.
I don't know, but it doesn't look like they're doing it right though. Because Dark Knight, at least from the tank's perspective, Dark Knight looks severely.
Yeah, Dark Knights will get changed before Savage.
Neglected.
I see stuff being reworked.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe the developer is still busy playing Genshin Impact. There was a new patch that came out, so maybe the developer for that one was playing too much Genshin. Could be just late.
Yeah, potential unlimited plunges. Look, that doesn't matter if they can't stay alive. Why?
They made Red Mage a lot easier too.
Well, that's good.
Like Red Mage only needs to be at 50-50 instead of 80 now.
Yeah. So you don't have to be all the way at 80 anymore?
Like they reduced the amounts that you would get normally, but you burst a lot more, and they change magnification, where magnification just gives you a straight 50 instead of doubling what you have.
Yeah, what you have.
And they made the flip and the corpse a charge of 2 charges.
2 charges?
Yes,
I think
because they took away that magnification automatically reset the cast timers on them. Those death
Oh,
bombs.
okay, then that's fair.
if you're looking at like all the other tanks in terms of like how versatile they are now, I would say that Warrior has become it's a sustained tank once again, which it should stay in. Their charge is no longer off their gauge. I'm still kind of pondering. I'm gonna have to agree with Hero on that one with like the gauges. They probably don't need gauges anymore. The only one who I guess really benefits from a gauge is probably the Dark Knight, but even after that, you can switch those out for charges too.
Like Gunbreaker still needs a gauge because it has to manage cartridges.
Right.
Warrior does, since now that everything's on charging, like on stacks of charges, it doesn't need a gauge, but at the same time, if they take away the gauge, they need to rework how you get I'm having a brain fart right now. How you get the 2 abilities? I forgot the names, dude.
I mean,
let me hop on my main so I can remember stuff. My brain's fogged up right now.
So the charges uses a Peevil, Fellcleave.
Yeah, Fellcleave. So Fellcleave. So when you enter in a release, that's the thing that me and Hero was debating the other day. And it's not confirmed. The inner release stacks will only get consumed when you use either stuff off the beast gauge. So Fellcleave or Decimate. But you only get 3, but there's on a 60-second timer.
And I did the calculations too. They shortened Dark Knights. Like they made the Delirium a 3. They gave him 3 charges, right?
Just like in a release.
Right.
Same thing.
So old Delirium was 90 seconds. And in the 2 Delirium charge, you will be able to do like 5 blood spillers. Now, that's 120 seconds. Now it's on 60 seconds. And
with 3 charges.
With 3 charges. So that's only 3 blood spillers. Double times that.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
If you double that, that's 120. That goes to 6 blood spillers. Add 60 seconds more to equal 180. And that's only 9 blood spillers. It's a loss, but Shadowbringers, seeing how that's a 60-second charge, that could be a replacement for 1 blood spiller. So that can add on to that.
It's a loss, but you gain the ability to not have to use it immediately. So sometimes when you pop it, and then the boss disappears, you still have the stack other stacks for another 30 seconds.
Right. So that's a loss.
I understand the change,
yeah,
but it is a loss.
Yeah, it's a loss, but depending on how you use Shadowbringers, it may deviate out. That just puts it in its place. That's all it is. It's gonna stay in place right there. What is going on? What am I getting? Why is there a post of mine getting so many likes? I don't get it. Oh.
What did you shield this time? No kidding.
I shilled my Discord. No.
Oh my god.
I made just healers for non-healers. blood for blood lilies. Yes. Watt mage. We're calling white mage Watt mage for now.
What mage?
Watt mage. All right. Well, yeah. From what it seems like, every tank seems to be in a good place. Dark Knight didn't really change much. Maybe it has better, maybe slightly better potency, but its self-sustain is pretty. It's down bad.
What are you talking about? Dark Knight is the only job that has 2 jobs.
What do you mean by that?
It's Dark Knight and Reaper, but they're both Dark Knight, and we know it.
Man, it would be better if it was just plain Reaper then. That's the case.
Well, you can pretend to be.
Dark Knight kind of done dirty. And from what I'm hearing, Scholar seems to have been done dirty too.
I'm telling you, it's probably the developer that's like on vacation or something.
I don't know. I don't know how they make these work. I can just tell you right now that people are going to complain about certain jobs, and I'm damn sure I'm damn sure we know that Yoshi P is going to look at it and be like, "Oh, you're right. So you were the head of that? You're fired. Get out."
Yeah.
I have a feeling. I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. Because I know they have metrics on all the jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And when they look at that, it's going to be very sad. It's going to be very sad. I see that Dark Knight has okay defensive abilities. It's not going to beat Paladin anytime soon. Paladin's defense is just... It's a little op. It's a little op.
In the expansion, because currently it's really not.
What, the Paladin?
Yeah.
Their defensive ability?
Paladin got better in Endwalker.
Yeah. In Endwalker, it looks fine. But if it sounds like it's getting more sustained. Is it actually getting more damage mitigation as well?
So what they did was a lot of Paladin stuff.
Yeah.
Only like that was the issue of Paladin's oath gauge, where you only had oath gauge for defensive abilities.
Right.
And Paladin's current kit made it more of an off tank instead of a main tank. So what they went ahead and did is they added healing effects to a lot of its abilities, including intervention, divine veil, and holy sheltron now heals in general. On top of them they added one other thing. Oh, they took away the damage or the MP. I think they took away something from Spirits Within that I think was based off of your health.
Oh.
I think it was like.
So is it flat damage now?
Yes.
Oh.
And it upgrades to Esquizat, some stuff, something at level 86.
Oh, that's what Sync was trying to pronounce.
Yeah, it upgrades to that. That expiation. Yeah, upgrades to that.
There we go, expiation.
Yeah.
So, I would say that Paladin have sustain. Their defensive abilities are still just fine.
That's more of sustain as opposed to mitigation. I would still argue that Dark Knight has better mitigation because if it's really powerful, Blackest Night.
But Blackest Night, it's a punish if you don't pop it.
It's a punish if it doesn't get popped, right? Okay, yeah.
It's a punish if it doesn't get popped, and it's a DPS loss because you lose.
Right. It's a DPS, but like in terms of pure mitigation wise,
like pure mitigation, like in leveling content, it's really good.
Yeah,
because you're almost guaranteed pop it, but like towards end game, if it doesn't pop for whatever reason, because
it's MP loss, which
it's MP loss.
Yeah,
right,
and that's damage loss. So, like even going through dungeons, all the jobs have upgrades on their like 70 abilities, except for the Dark Knight. Really, like in this case, I'm really certain to think they should just give them back old Visual Drain at this point.
So
that's what people are saying.
Yeah, they should. I don't know why they're not.
Because old Visual Drain actually made Dark Knights too powerful in dungeons. Since
Think whose video is this you're watching?
Larry Yeah. You gotta remember, visual drain just went on forever. Like,
Right.
especially when we had what was it, blood price,
Yep.
which basically was just like every time they got hit, they got more MP.
Yep.
So with that, they just kept getting MP, and a visual drain didn't cost much. It was just so they didn't lose HP neither. So the
Right.
healers were more or less DPSing than healing.
Yeah.
Because you'll always get HP back, because the way Dark Knight functioned at Heaven's Ward is a lot of stuff made it so you can sustain health. And the MP abilities, you got to juggle MP, but it was really good.
And Stormblood was pretty much the same thing, because that's before they were like, oh, Abyssal Drain's too powerful. And there it was just like throw the Abyssal Drain everywhere, and you didn't die. And
True.
Even after that, they may not have been like the best in Savage, but they still had a performance. So like, take away the Abyssal Drain, they still had a performance and harder content. In this, since every other tank has some sort of self-sustain, and there's already a good sustain on Gunbreaker, and Dark Knight only has really like a visual, Soul Eater.
Yeah, and Gunbreaker's Invul Super Bowl I got buffed.
It's still the same thing, isn't it?
It got buffed to 10 seconds.
Oh, 10 seconds now. Ooh.
That I think that and Home Game got buffed to 10 seconds.
So Living Dead is still the worst invul in the game. So
yes. Living Dead was always 10 seconds, same as Paladin. How are the cooldowns like though?
Cooldowns? What do you mean? Like
did they increase the cooldown since it's like much
they didn't
longer?
Increase it. They just gave Gunbreaker a new ability, Heart of the Conundrum, that heals. And for Warrior, they added healing effect on War Intuition now.
They didn't decrease the cooldown of Paladin's invuln then?
No, they wouldn't decrease it. They would never decrease it. It would be get buffed. Because Yoshi P believes that he set this back in Stormblood that Hologram is too powerful.
Yeah, it's an invul. It's literally invincibility.
Right, but so is Gunbreaker. Is essentially
Gunbreaker has a risk. You shoot yourself in the foot and you're at one HP.
Yeah,
right?
but you have 10 seconds of complete invulnerability.
Well,
that's
hold on. With Gunbreaker, the invul has a delay to it. So if you drop your health down to 1 and you get hit before you get the invincibility, you're dead. Well, Hologram, regardless of when you pop it, it pops and then you're invul for 7 seconds. Nobody needs to do anything.
And even beyond the technical aspect of that, you also have to work with your healers with a Gunbreaker. Mm-hmm. If your healer is not adjusted for the sudden, oh, my HP is gone, right? Then you're still going to be in a bit of trouble. I'm not going to say total trouble. You're still going to be in a bit of trouble if they don't get you back up in that amount of time of 10 seconds. Though, now that it's 10 seconds, it's very possible for you to be just fine.
It's not as bad as Dark Knight, where Gunbreaker, you don't need to get a Gunbreaker up to max HP before it goes off. Where Dark Knight, if it's not a max HP, it's dead.
It's not even max HP. You literally have to heal them equivalent of their max HP, which is even worse.
Right. So the equivalent of their max HP.
Yeah.
And
which is a lot worse.
That's a lot of healing. That's a lot of healing. Like, unless you have White Mage's Benediction, that is a lot of healing. And that
having Dark Knight and Gunbreaker on the same team with White Mage,
that's a lot of stress.
Right, that is, like, at the very least, Gunbreaker is like, I'm not losing any more HP after this, just keep healing me.
Right.
Whereas Dark Knight is like, you better give me all of my health back. That is, to this day, the very thing I want to be like, okay, Yoshi P, we need to talk about this. Like,
like at least give it the Blackest Night by the fuck. Just give it Blackest Night when it gets there.
But it has 2 health bars, Sync.
That's not a health bar, bro.
It's only 2 health bars.
You're dead. You're dead.
You're
You're not alive.
It doesn't matter. It's
You're
like you have
dead.
a second. It's like you have a second chance at life, but you have to get healed up all
second
the
chan-
way before you
A
die.
second chance. You literally become an empty barrel, and healers have to throw heals into the barrel until it's full.
Or other jobs can like die and come
Me,
back, and then
by the way, you could still lose HP while that barrel is getting full.
I know, but that's okay.
I don't know.
So much health.
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yo, what's up?
Yes.
What's up?
I was just trying to say hi and just wanted to chime in if that was okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Probably get me off this this Dark Knight depression. I'll be fine.
Boom. So what are we talking about here? So I don't sound like a fool.
We were talking about the media tour stuff, and talking about how many of the tanks have their kind of diversity, while Paladin looks like it's going to just be op and always used in every kind of way. We're trying to wonder why they didn't really do anything for the Dark Knight, and for that matter, what's going on with Scholar. I'm still confused on, like, Scholar.
Here's the thing, right?
Patient's still in the game. Get off the job.
Here's the thing. Go ahead.
No. By all means, you.
No, Kayla, go.
Go
for it.
Go. Mine's just a joke anyway. Never mind.
Yeah. He's not going to speak seriously. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I have nothing really serious to contribute to this.
My man's going to be like...
Get dissipation out the game. Why is it there?
I don't know, man.
It only affects 3 skills in the game, and it gives you 3 stacks, but you lose your fairy. So it's slight of a punishment, and it's kind of just like, oh, but if your OGCDs are still on cooldown, you can't use them anyways.
Oh my goodness.
Why is it in the game?
Oh, Kalo. Right, you good, man? Can't hear you.
Yeah, I was listening. I was waiting for them to start because I didn't want to talk over anybody.
Go ahead, Kalo. What you got to say, man?
Go ahead. Yeah.
I was watching a few videos of the media tour, and I thought about how some of the DPS are working, how the healers are working, and how the tanks are working. And honestly, as much as I do like the appearance of the Reaper, I will openly admit I'm a little bit confused about how to work it. I said to myself I was going to wait until the media tour information came in, and then I'd be able to do my mental hotbar, so to speak, because that's what I did when Gunbreaker came out.
That's
and
good.
Some of the skills I'm still a bit confused by how to work them in properly. So I'm figuring I'm just going to have to wait until I get my hands into practice.
That's a good idea. You can get your hands on it. I mean,
Yeah.
A good video to watch to give you an idea would actually be the Final Fantasy XIV Reddit videos. They do a comprehensive breakdown of both Summoner, Sage, and Reaper, and Monk, because Monk got a slight rework as well.
right.
I know. I saw some of Monk's rework. I'm like, I'm gonna wait because I have like almost every class I work with. I do Gunbreaker, and I do Paladin. I do White Mage, Black Mage, Red Mage. I do Dragoon. I do most of the classes. I don't touch the Astrologian because I don't believe in the heart of the cards.
That's fair.
And Scholar, I'm not sure about, but I might have to try to think about it because I understand Sage is a barrier healer too, and I'm not used to that style, so I'm wondering if playing Scholar will make me used to it. I don't know.
Sage has it's gauge. It's the only healer that actually requires a gauge now at this point. Because a lot of its stuff is tied to its gauge. Where I didn't look too much into it because, like I said to Sync in a private call a couple days ago, since the abilities are basically, I want to say it's Russian or a different type of language, a Shaolin language.
It's Russian.
It's Russian. Yeah, it confuses me to no end. So I'm just gonna wait until I touch the class to see what it actually does.
Wait, what the
It's a good idea. Though, what do y'all think about? Have you seen the reworks to Dragoon?
It's
I've seen it. It's mostly I don't know why they took away Life of the Blood of the Dragon or Life of the Dragon. Which one of the ones that
What, they got
came with
rid of
the
that?
trait?
it took away Blood of the Dragon.
They,
And now
they made it
it's
a
Why?
trait,
Yeah.
but they added another timer, which is Draconian Fire or something like that.
What the
And
hell's
it's
the
like,
point then?
what's the point? Like, why?
Well, and I would have to guess that they removed one timer, but they didn't want to make it necessarily super OP with that. So they removed the one timer and just concentrated on another, because if you have two timers you have to concentrate on, that would be a little bit more difficult for the new player to get into it. That's just I'm guessing.
The second timer doesn't really pop up until you get to Endwalker stuff.
Yeah. So all I'm thinking is, oh, did you guys finish your homework? Oh crap!
I think
Let's
so,
redo this timer.
I think Dragoon is
They-
still I think
No,
Dragoon,
actually 76. It's 76 they add the new timer back in, where
Mhm.
basically it revolves around right in thrust.
Mhm.
What else? Chaos. I think the two abilities that's tied around Blood of the Dragon is
Yeah.
no longer tied to that. The two enders get upgrades at level 80.
Okay.
And then once you do the two enders, you get up 2 procs to use the level 90 ability.
Mhm.
I have to admit, when I saw what the level 90 ability was with the double dragon thing, that Lazier called it, he mentioned like double dragon. The first thing I did was I literally paused the video and I played a clip from the Double Dragon cartoon just to hear them do that stupid chant.
living that nostalgia life. I think I don't think there was a DPS that got down bad in this. In fact, I think
Only DPS that got kinda scuffed was Samurai, but it was more so Samurai didn't really get any new stuff outside of level 82 Shoha 2, which basically is Shoha with an AoE.
yeah.
All they got was basically extensions to already existing abilities, and the attack and skill speed buff now can be applied via AoEs. And if you use Metsui Shishiri, the enders will automatically give you the buff as well. Because you know how before, Mr. you had to press the second skill in that line to get the buff, even though the third skill gave you the seal. Now if you use Metsui Shishiri, the third skill will give you both the seal and the buff corresponding to that.
It's more or less just keeping it together, I guess. I wouldn't say that's a down bad. I would say that's just a change for a samurai to keep at its work. And I remember the AoE's got better. The AoE's got better.
Technically, the potency's got nerfed, but we don't know what the numbers are outside of the 81 dungeon and what they are level 90.
Yeah.
Well, what they are level 90 is like 2/3 of what you had, 1/3 of what you had before.
In the end game, I think it's just eventually it's going to come down to getting your hands on it and seeing the feel, because the description can only tell you so much. That's why I'm a little bit nervous about getting my hands on Reaper, honestly.
Like in-game healer HP is like now 40k. Down from 118 to 120.
Oh, that's good. So they did do a vitality crunch then.
Everything got punched. Like level
Okay, all
81.
stats.
Level 81, like Fire 4 is like doing like 4k.
Oh,
That's
I
hard.
wanted to
That
go.
was the worst thing for me.
I wanted to go back to Heaven's Word numbers. Damn it!
We're starting at level 69 numbers. Like when we
Sweet.
go into Albania, we're around there.
Oh, but it's too high.
Can someone remind me, please, why they crunched all these numbers and they cut our existing HP in half at level 90?
The numbers were being too, because you know how like Final Fantasy 14 is built on spaghetti code, right? The numbers were getting way too big, and it was affecting server stabilities.
So, I don't know if you know anything about World of Warcraft, but they did the same thing, where
Yeah,
they were just like, "Oh, we're in the millions in terms of damage."
Yeah, damage was like 1.2 million,
Yeah.
shit like that per ability.
Yeah, those calculations aren't free. They take up resources, so
Jesus,
they had to.
329 votes. I said best healer in Final Fantasy 14 Go, and White Mage won by 40%. A Sage, which I put there, I was like, this is not out yet, but 30% says Sage is the best. And Astral's coming in for 22, and dead last a Scholar at 8%.
Yeah, White Mage.
I want you to think about that for a second.
Like, I need to see everything, like, even though Scholar looks and sounds bad, well, not so much bad, but more of basically Dark Knight hero version.
It's neglected.
Like, it's neglected.
Right.
Even for the range doesn't even seem like none of the range really sound bad. Bard is fine. Bard basically functions. They added the songs increased to 45 seconds. Bloodletter and Rain of Death is on chargers, and they give you a finisher on top of Soul Voice, and then you get damage buff.
Question. Sink Weaver, this one's for you.
Hmm?
Why do you look like you just came from church?
All healers come from church. Didn't you know that?
No, I'm talking about because I'm looking at your video, and I'm like, this dude looks like God. who came down and said, "Okay, I've seen what you're doing with our class. Stop your shit."
Wait, you cosplayed as Morgan Freeman without telling me? What?
Which video are you talking about, bro?
He looks like God right now, like legit Morgan Freeman God.
Wait, from where? For which one? Which video?
I'm looking at your video right now on your live one. Watching media tour videos.
Oh, my character?
Oh, his character.
Yeah, don't you know? All healers, they always come back from church. Like, they're at church when you're offline. You didn't know that? Your character's sitting in church, and then when you come back online, they're like, Lord help me, I'm gonna have this motherfucker control my body for however long.
Speaking of gear, did you see the artifact gear?
I've seen most of them.
Well, I think they look alright for the most part. I like Bard. Bard usually looks like extravagant, except for Shadowbringer Bard. But yeah, Shadowbringer Bard. I don't know what happened there.
I don't like it either.
When I looked at Dragoon,
Like, what
I
happened
said-
to you?
they're bringing the pain, they're bringing the jumps, and pointy things.
I wasn't a fan of the Dragoon SHB, like a set either. It's like, oh, isn't it the one with the open boots? The open
Okay, so Bard. You know, I always ask, why does some of the Bard equipment or some of the ranged equipment, why they hold knives on their belt, but then they're supposed to be hunters, I guess.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, archers are hunters.
Yeah.
Dancer got a slight rework. They reworked how the procs work, and they also reworked improvisation, where improv no longer grants esprit or health. It just gives a barrier.
The health was fine. Well, why would they take that away?
No, the healing buff and the esprit buff that came with improvisation, it got changed into a barrier.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
And I think at level 82, if you do technical finish, it automatically grants the attack buff.
Oh,
Interesting. I didn't even look at Dancer yet. So, I mean, I just leveled up my Dancer to 80, and I still play it off and on, but I didn't really I haven't mastered it like I have Dragoon and some others.
What's annoying me is that a lot of the level 90 skills are just AoEs.
perfect. You bring it into a dungeon and you finish in like 2 minutes.
Like almost all of them, except for like White Mage, and like I think no, it might be just White Mage and Dark Knight. No, Dark Knight got an AoE, level 90 AoE.
They did, and the potency is supposed to be high. It still doesn't make up for the fact that they went from the most survivable tank in any dungeon to
Poor thing.
you might die.
Every time you bring up Dark Knight, Sage's just gonna get mad.
Hey, do you want me to play the world's smallest violin for you?
Someone's gonna be like, "You're so butthurt." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna stay butthurt, you bastard."
So what you do, right, is you lay down your greatsword, you pick up the shiny scythe over there, and you just go ham.
Don't worry, I've been thinking about it. I thought about it.
So is anybody going to start after, based on what you've seen about the media tour, about what's everybody's feelings on the scythe weaving reaper? What do y'all think about it personally?
Hands on it.
I have to get my hands on it too because it looks strong, it seems strong, and it almost feels like it might just be up there depending on how they want you to play it as. It almost seems like it might actually be up there as a very powerful DPS, like one of the top 5. But I have to definitely get my hands on it first.
Yeah, but you also
Every
have to.
new class comes out with issues. So I'm just gonna wait.
I want to love it. I want to love it, but something inside me is just telling me, be careful.
Yeah, the thing is with it having a support kit, and it's a pretty good support kit, I have a feeling its DPS isn't gonna be too high, like compared to the other melees. I don't. It shouldn't be like above, let's say for example, Samurai or like even Monk or Dragoon. It shouldn't. Probably towards Dragoon, but probably not towards Monk. Like it should not be that high up.
I feel as though it's going to be towards Dragoon.
Yeah, it should be towards Dragoon, but
be...
not towards Monk and Samurai.
So I feel like.
Side note. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead. Because all I was going to say is that Reaver feels like it's going to have a very sustainable, rotation as long as you keep up with it. I'm probably that's the reason why they said it's going to have Dragoon gear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but all of them have a sustainable. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
What I was gonna say was side note. They need to do something with squadrons.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
And I saw in the notes that, and one of the interview questions that Trust may be able to solo Final Fantasy 14 at some point.
Oh, okay.
Like not the extreme primals, obviously, but like the normal primal content, because that's what's getting my character on Japan right now, since no one plays like the time that we're up. So like I can't get past Tsukyomi right now because I can't even get it.
I don't know, when it came to the squad, after they hit level 40, I became the father that left to go get cigarettes. If you catch my drift.
Yeah, like they served like really well of leveling side jobs if you put the time into it. But like for someone like me, where I have everything at level 80, it's not really worth doing. So I want them to bring it back so it brings them up to content like at least level 70, level 80 content. That's worth knowing. So like the Blue Mage is always behind by one expansion. I think the squadron should be in the same position.
I mean, when I go, sorry, mine are still working out in their little squad room. One's doing push-ups, talking about Daddy's coming back. 2, Daddy's coming back. 3, Dad is coming back. 4. I just left them there.
I missed the glitch. I missed the glitch where if you had the two archer squad members and you just kept pressing the attack button, it would reset all its skills. So it kept using that. Was a multi-shot or something like that? That would do so much damage. You could finish like a dungeon in like 5 minutes or less.
Oh, they took that away?
Yeah, they fixed that. Like after they found, oh my god.
They peeked. It was like, nah, dude, get up out of here.
But I mean, Juice was like, oh my god, you gotta get this done while it lasts.
For Monk players are trying to find out, just like Scholar players are trying to find out why Dissipation's still in the game, and why Summoners are trying to find out why Physics is still in the game. Monk players are trying to find out why Animating is still in the game. Because it's just there now. And that Twin Snakes buff got buffed to like 30 seconds now. So it's kind of just like, so what's the skill for now?
Oh, yeah, so you don't even really have to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just have to replay
just an emote.
What the hell?
They called it emote.
I don't know, I don't know, I find like that's gonna mess up my rotation on Monk more. That's just what I feel, because like, I'm so set in the...
I'll be right back.
No problem.
Alright.
Well, Monk changed anyway, so kind of like a lot of core stuff changed now.
Try Guild Wars 2. I'm thinking
like it has a whole new
no.
It has a whole new job system now and everything.
All right. How you doing, George Daggery? I'm guessing you saw my video. Try Guild Wars 2. I will in the future.
No, Sync, no. Sync,
Why?
no.
Why?
Please, no.
Why?
No.
A new experience is coming out for Guild Wars 2 shortly.
Yeah, like,
Oh.
why are
They
you telling
killed off the best character in the game.
Who?
To give another character growth, and then they didn't really give him growth. It's horrible.
That must be a horrible thing.
It is a horrible thing.
How
He
dare they?
doesn't know, so he doesn't. So he's just like, oh, okay.
I know, it's a horrible thing.
That's a very horrible thing you've experienced, of which
It
I did
is.
not. So I will play Guild Wars 2.
No, just keep playing ESO, man. Damn it.
I am this close to be like, you know what? I'm sorry.
Bro, are you done with ESO already?
Right now, I'm done.
Mm.
I've got enough footage and gameplay to have that new player experience, but there are reasons why I know why people are like.
I uninstalled the game already. 120 gigs to be bored. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm amazed you lasted this long.
I'm good.
I said I was gonna do it, so I was gonna do it. But I'm gonna give my real opinion on the game, since that apparently that kind of content on my channel is what people are coming for.
Oh, so I see what it is. It's a view grab.
Yes.
I see how you are now.
He gotta do what he gotta do.
Yeah, I gotta make that bag.
It's a good thing I'm not desperate. I mean, just ignore my VTuber like avatar, but it's a good thing.
Yeah, and the next thing I'm gonna see a thumbnail with like one of your waifu's behinds, just like.
No, I'm a wholesome VTuber. Okay?
with a circle and an arrow pointing at it.
I'm not like those other guy VTubers who make these sexy girls. No, I made a dude, okay? An innocent looking dude.
Just like, can you believe this? And it's a circle pointing at like, I don't know. Any waifu's face is like things you didn't know about this character.
Yeah, I know, right? Things you didn't know about Genshin Impact. It's like big butt.
Excuse me. Sorry about that.
I'll say this though. I feel as though Genshin Impact. It's okay. I just wish it wasn't free to play. That's all I wish.
You got 285 gil. Make that money.
You're in the money.
Well, Sing, if you spend that much money that I spent, then it's no longer a free-to-play game. So just spend some money.
So, Sing, have I told you that in Japan, they pull with provoke?
I'm sorry, what?
They what? They did what?
Have I told you that in Japan, they pull with provoke?
Pulls a provoke.
What the-
What pulls a provoke? What did I miss?
In Japan, they pull with provoke.
Why?
Oh no! But it's a thing.
You have so many other options.
What? I pull with provoke? What?
They
No,
pull,
you don't. No, you
and
don't.
they pull for-
Oh, sorry.
No,
Dude.
it's like they have it set on macro, and
Wasn't ready.
every pull.
Wasn't ready.
It's full.
Wasn't ready. Wasn't ready for that. My bad.
See, the thing is, right?
Yeah, keep them alive, man. Don't die.
See, the thing is with provoke, right? It's an OGCD skill. So once you're right there, like you do not have to worry about your GCD pull from screwing up your AOE thing. So it's a very valid tactic. I use it sometimes.
Just die.
Yeah. Was not
It's
paying
fine.
attention. Sorry. Mr. I pull with provoke, and I'm sitting here like, what the fuck?
It works.
I'm gonna tell him too.
There's a reason why Japan excels, okay?
I'm about to just be like, I'm about to just tell him like, so apparent. I'm gonna tell the party too. Did you know that Japan pulls with provoke? And they're gonna be like, what?
They don't use tomahawk or those abilities, or their gap closers. They use provoke.
I'm wrong for just. If that's the case, then I have to look there. And this is not sarcasm.
It's a very valid tactic.
No, am I wrong for just running in and doing my AoE combos to keep my aggro?
If you're doing mobs, that's fine because you're grabbing the aggro of them. The problem with pulling with provoke is that provoke only puts you a point above everything else. So if you, and what another common tactic that's been going on recently that I think Huawei and Hero brought up is that a lot of newer healers have been using pre-region before pulling. So if you're pulling with provoke, you only have 1 point above everybody else, and if they region is a more of an aggro tool than provoke, so they'll already target the healer immediately.
So
Even though they
here's
shouldn't be doing it anyway.
what you do when you're a paladin. You have clemency. You clemency the healer. That's what I do too.
You clemency the healer.
I clemency the healer. It works 100% of the time. Your aggro just goes whoop, and everything just magnetizes to you, and you don't have to do anything. You just keep running.
Like, you're gonna region me? Okay, here's something.
Yeah, exactly. It works so well. Like this is why I run paladin. It's like, oh, you're a healer. That's not really experienced. Here's a clemency.
What irks me is that I had a party of emerald weapons where anytime it was both paladins were clemency themselves when they dropped below 80%.
80%?
And they were doing about 4.5 to 5k DPS.
Oh my god.
That's what irks me a lot is when paladin, you have a healer and you drop below, and they see you DPSing and they drop below 80%, their class comes.
Like the only time I clemency is if I drop, like, in a serious combos, if I drop like below like 35% or something like that.
Oh, that's another change I forgot. West Quizant is no longer buff clemency.
You mean Requiescat?
West Quizant no longer buff
Does it?
Nope.
Uninstalling.
I mean, you probably should have been using it anyway, but given with all the healing buffs that you got with your other 3 skills, it balances out.
So it like clemency will never have an instant thing anymore.
I believe this is the case. Yes.
I mean,
No, I'm uninstalling.
As a paladin main, all I do is I just I make sure I do my AoE combos I run in, and I do my regular combos in the boss. Then when I do white mage, just as they pull, okay, you grabbed everything, cool. I'm a medic 2, regen on the tank, throw my divine venison, and then just holy the fuck out of everything. And then when I see the white mage dipping a little bit, I'll just do one quick cure on there and bam. And then when the regens run out, I just reapply them, wash my XP.
I don't even do that. I just walk in, drop holy since they're stunned. Holy's basically a free hollow ground, even though you'll have paladins cast hollow ground anyway.
I know.
Holy's to the edge of earth, dude.
I mean, it's okay.
You're
You
stuck.
tell the-
Let me cast ground, so it could be a waste of cooldown. Let's go.
Yeah. See, the thing is, with the friends I run, like, they already know that, okay, the first big pull I'm gonna do, I'm always gonna cast Hollowed Ground so they can just go ham. Because, like, that way it's ticking, like, the cooldown's already ticking throughout the dungeon, so I could just use it whenever. So, no, I already use Hollowed Ground. So, I mean, if you communicate with your group first, like, hey, I'm gonna Hollowed Ground the first big pull, then it's fine. But, yeah.
Sure, but me,
Yeah.
I'm almost always with randoms unless
Yeah.
it's with IFC. And then I just come in, I burn through, like I said, I'm Wicked 2, then regen, and then 5 minutes. Drop a cure once in a while, and wash with repeat. And I never let him stop. I mean, some might think it's wasting MP that way, but that's what, my MP recharge is for.
Yep, it's true.
Oh, for White Mage, Finnair got changed too.
Fettier?
Finnair got changed.
Thin air.
What's
What does it do
Fettier?
now?
So Finnair, instead of being 12 seconds of free MP, it's now 1 spell.
Oh, thin air. I keep saying you're saying.
Oh, wait,
thin
what?
air.
So they nerfed
Wait,
it?
what happened now? What happened now with this?
Yeah, they nerfed it. So now Finnair is on 2
Hold on, I'll be
charges,
back.
Okay.
and it's 1 spell now.
So oh really?
But it's on a 60-second cooldown now
Oh, okay.
with 2 charges. So
So
essentially,
it's become more strategic.
yes. So
Okay.
I guess they're trying to stop where healers will just use Finnair for either DPS or when heavy rate damage is coming out, where the other healer can just sit there on DPS while White Mage just spams Cure 3.
Yeah.
I guess they wanted to stop that.
Damn it.
But for big pulls, I just walk in, cast Holy, and then use OG CDs to heal.
But I'm really sad about the non-instant clemency because that's how I can survive big pulls with the what do you call this?
I'm not sure if
Trust.
if instant clemency is gone, but I know that
The boost is right, like the heal boost.
the boost is definitely gone.
Ooh, that's gonna make my major pulls with my because I would literally like use instant clemencies, like boosted clemencies, to heal myself while the healer tries to catch up.
I'll be right back.
Tank's fine.
R.I.P.
Oh, I shouldn't have done that. That was the
At least Dark Mod is useful now.
Wait, is he gonna drop it? Is it gonna drop? No, that lasts way too long.
What's your tank right now? Warrior?
Yeah.
Yeah. You hear me think?
What's up?
I said at least Dark Mod is useful now.
True.
'Cause
True.
now you'll know if it's a magical or physical attack.
True. Yeah.
Before, you just have to know. Or you get to guess. I might level Dark Knight next. So I don't got that much time before the new expansion with this character.
I'm still trying to get Necromancer.
You got Reaper.
Bro, I want that title. I want to have clout.
Oh wait, how do you get the Necromancer now?
Solo Palace of the Dead, 1 to 200.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Did you just say you want to have clout?
Yes.
Have you tried it with Red Mage? Because I heard that people have been doing it with Red Mage.
I want to do it with the challenge. So I made it up to floor 180 with my Dark Knight.
Bruh, you won't have real clout unless your Twitter verified, okay? Just don't even.
Listen.
They can get verified easily. You just have to know people.
Yeah.
Maybe next time he can actually
When I'm
get
DBC.
the media tour.
Maybe next.
Hopefully you
Like,
get one next
I'm
time.
at that
Yeah.
point now. You know what's funny? This mofo right here could have also been in the same place, but he was like,
Who?
"Nah."
What are you talking about? Who's this guy?
Uh,
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Me, I was just like, Nah, I'm good.
You're like, nah, I'm good. I don't feel it anymore. And I'm like, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I don't feel like making content anymore. Like, I tried. It's not fun anymore.
So, I mean, I get it. But then he's like, you know, if Genshin Impact has emotes, I'm definitely making videos. I'm like,
Oh.
I don't know who
okay.
that guy is. Who's that? I'm sus order. I'm not last order.
Oh.
What are you talking about?
Oh, okay.
This is like saying for Endwalker, you have to take up the mantle of comparison videos, guides. What else was I doing? Narrative dungeon guides, raid guides that also had like, you know, funny plots on the side. Well, I just make meme videos from now on. How's that? How's that sound?
Bro, Samurai, I gave you the room. Go to the boss. Okay.
What are you doing? Why are you dead?
So sometimes I feel. Oh no, the samurai is new. Never mind. I'll give it a little bit of leeway right there.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You're the healer.
I'm the healer, right?
Yeah.
I know how this dungeon works. I was like, all right, samurai, go next to the boss. I'm giving you the room to do it. I can heal you from here. And he went over to my side where he did not do damage at all, so he just missed it.
Healers need a push. Seriously. They need like a push to go with their pull.
With this Japanese character, I'm never unlocking another raid. I don't really like doing the 24-man, so... And I'm probably going to be doing Savage with this character. So the requirement to do the 24-man to get gear, it's going to go out the window.
Oh man.
And the eventual gear upgrades, I'm good.
Hey Pocky, so you used to like content create? Sorry, you used to content create as well?
For FGC stuff, and I was start of Shadowbringers. I was doing like streaming every day.
Oh, nice.
And I was actually I got like 30 followers in like 15 days.
Oh wow.
But, yeah, I think you was there when we was doing Raid with Broadway.
Yeah.
Back when I was on Mixer, and you was trying to Mixer too.
Yeah.
I got 35 followers, and then I stopped streaming. I don't enjoy it at all.
Oh, you don't?
Streaming is you have to have stamina and like the want to do it, honestly.
And
Oh
a
my God.
huge ego like me and Sync.
Whoa. Slow down. You don't need an ego. You don't need an ego.
Only need
It
an ego.
helps. It helps, but you don't need it.
Well, it depends on who you are and how far you want to go. But for doing content creation, like when I was doing FGC stuff, I got up to like 1.2K on Twitch.
Oh, nice.
And then also stopped.
Sorry, but the thought popped into my head when you said you needed an ego. I'm like, who do I look like? Xenosis Specs?
Yes.
I'm actually surprised he didn't get invited to the media tour this time.
There's a couple of reasons for that.
Yeah, there's.
Oh, I wonder why. Do tell. Spill.
He's streaming.
I mean, I can't really like. I mean, I don't know if I should say it, but there's reasons. You could probably guess the reasons if you know what type of person he is.
Okay, that's all I needed to hear.
I'm saying generate some drama. You need that gives you some more clout. Come on, do it.
I
Talk
think-
You know, one of these days, your joke is gonna be taken out of context, and I'm gonna get fucked up for it.
Yeah, so don't listen to do not listen to the masses. You do you. Do you.
What I want to think, if that's the case, because I don't think Offwords got invited either,
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
and I think it's because they both got banned at one point for the same thing.
So like,
I think. Yeah.
that's the short of it. I could really say.
Yeah. There's other things.
You know what? Yeah, you're right, Cards. Give it to the red mage, since the red mage is not killing themselves.
Yeah, heart of the cards. Guide the red mage.
Like, yeah, because I see Zeno is starting to like create content every day now, and I'm kind of just like, dude, I'm not really used to you making content, and you're, yeah. That's all I gotta say on stream. Is I'm not used to E3 live content, and it's kind of weird. I'm just used to your raid content.
I'm just common. I'm just common streamer, YouTuber. I just finished Metroid Dread. And I'm looking for a classic thing to play. As far as FF goes, a warrior.
I am a light C.
What's up with warrior? I didn't watch the video on the changes. Give me the Cliff Notes version.
Warrior, home game dropped down to home lane increased to 20. Why did you early for it? Home game increased to 10 seconds. Berserk and release change. Berserk is every weapon skill up to 3 stacks, and inner release change to every 3 stacks of every beast gauge skill. And it lasts 30 seconds. This was changed because oftentimes you'll pop it and then the boss will disappear. Die!
Hey.
Why are you
Nope, keep going
No.
forward. I can heal from
You
back
go
here.
fight the boss.
We go together.
Alright. You're not. What are you?
Whoa, why would he put that there? Why would he put that there? Why would he put that there?
And you can't get out. You can't get away. You are trapped in.
No, the tank did a tank thing and he's good.
The tank did a tank thing.
Yep.
Okay. So what do you believe that with white mage? I'm kind of switching gears. So do you think white mage is more healing than hit, so they can heal while they heal?
Yes, they just increased healing. That's it.
Yeah.
With their level 90 skill, but their level 90 skill blows.
Yeah, if they need to get hit, that's really dumb.
Yes, but with warrior, other than that, they added healing to War Intuition, and then they added bloodletting. They took onslaught and upheaval off of their beast gauge. Upheaval and orogeny share a recast timer, and Primal Rend, the level 90 ability, is the finisher for after you burn the 3 stacks of inner release.
Okay.
And Equilibrium got buffed, where it has a region heal over time effect.
So
Gotcha.
That equals up to 1,000 potency.
So basically, warrior stay in the self-sustain. Gunbreaker.
Nation Flash got buffed too.
Oh, Nation Flash is.
Nation Flash got buffed too.
Oh my
So
god.
Warrior good, Paladin good, Gunbreaker.
Gunbreaker's actually good.
Good.
Gunbreaker was already good before
Like-
Endwalker.
Like the inner release is debatable. How you look at it, because same situation as Dark Knight, where you technically lose damage. So it depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
Breaker mains are like, yo, don't let me in with those Dark Knight motherfuckers.
Well, inner release did help lose the warrior's damage, but it's still in the same stance, like how Dark Knight has Shadowbringers now. Weird. It's an actual move, but they have Shadowbringers, so that helps mitigate the loss.
This expansion would have worked this expansion, but you know.
But you know, it's like they learned something from the last expansion. I was like, what to lose DPS? Is that what we learned? Is that what we wanted?
But yeah,
I can see that in the class. They got the Gunbreaker, you got the Paladin, you got the tank, and I'm sorry, you got the Gunbreaker, the Paladin, the Warrior, and the what is the other tank?
Reaper.
No, Gunbreaker, Paladin, Warrior, and
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight are sitting in the class, and the teacher's like, "Okay, now we're going
Oh
to
god,
teach you
Dark Knight's
today's-
already irrelevant.
Today's we're going to teach you all. No, you get to go home early. You get to go home early. You get to go home early. Dark Knight, yeah. We're going to teach you and Warrior. We're going to teach you how to lose DPS.
I think I think Warrior doesn't lose too much DPS. In fact, I think they gain.
They gain, yes.
Yeah, I think they gain.
Because they got a finisher.
Right.
Well, they both have finishers, but more so Dark Knight didn't get anything. And with the changes to in the release where Warrior got kit reworks in his current skill set, where it made it more sustainable than what it was now. Where before people were saying that Nascent Flash got nerfed and it actually got buffed. And then Raw Intuition also gives a heal where you get a heal every weapon skill you use.
So you gotta think about it, like who's designing the Dark Knight? I want to know who's designing the Dark Knight. That's my question. Like they must have not been at that meeting when they were just like, okay, here's the plan for the tanks. They're all going to be able to do everything, all equalized, and you know you're going to step in your zone. You're going to be the most sustained tank warrior. Paladin, you're just going to be op, all right? Because I guess that's what Yoshi P wants.
Paladin got today's hall pass, you know, so he good. He can roam where he wants to.
Right, Gunbreaker is like you're already cool. You're the cool kid in the class.
Exactly.
Dark Knight, yeah, you're cool, I guess. Don't change, right? Don't change.
Oh, and White Mage and Astrologian actually got cooldowns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dark Knight sitting at his desk talking about, I can't change.
I wish. I'm willing to bet that Dark Knight's gonna get like one of those not day one patches, but they're gonna get the first patch that's gonna come out.
Patch.
Yeah, they're gonna get a hefty patch because
wait, eye patches, don't they increase your DPS? So maybe Dark Knight can learn from that.
it's not the DPS that's wrong with
The sustain.
with the dark. Yeah, it's the sustain. They can't hold themselves. So like
Because
if
nobody held them as children.
I think someone who designed the Dark Knight is thinking like, oh, they're gonna use Darkest Night all the time, or the Blackest Night all the time, and it's like, no, we're not.
No, we're not.
Speaking of the Blackest Night, Sync, why are you jumping around in only the shadows? Are you that bored?
Well, when I talk, I do random shit with my hands.
The same way.
What's this with the hands? This is the classic.
With the hands, man.
That's how.
Dark Knight's sitting in the corner like, nobody held me as a child. That's why I can't hold this.
They hold
It's more so what they took away, it's stuff that they took away from Dark Knight, and going into 4.0, just ended up going back to everybody that wasn't Dark Knight. It doesn't make any sense.
The only thing they're missing for Paladin though right now is what you do is just put a fucking S on his chest and call it a day. Like literally, you put an S on the Paladin's chest, and that's basically what he is. You got grunge metal over here. You know, you got the grunge metal Gunbreaker.
Oh. Are y'all trying to die? Oh, don't cleave me.
You got the warrior sitting there like, I'm trying, damn it, I'm trying, says the warrior. And then Dark Knight's like, nothing changes in this world. I get no better.
Oh my god. We wiped out King Behemoth.
You know what? We'll see what happens. I'm sure somebody in Team Yoshida is going to see it, and they're going to probably have to make a change very soon. Because I have a feeling their performance in the dungeon is going to be a key.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Ooh, what is that handsome?
They're probably the only tank that absolutely 100% needs a healer to be healing them at all times.
Like, I don't get the point of the level 82 skill if you have the Blackest Night.
What does the 82 skill do?
It's a debuff. It basically functions the same as Offer Stone, where you can put it on somebody, and it's a 10% damage mitigation on 2 charges. But I'm like, if you have the Blackest Night, that always functions the same, and you get a benefit, what's the point of this skill?
It's just...
Well, no, like that gives up flat 10% damage mitigation, right? Versus 10% of your health as your HP.
So
as your shield.
Percentage-wise,
It's still better.
percentage-wise, because you
Mhm.
have such high health compared to that of like anybody else, you are the tank. Blackest Night still outdoes that.
Oh no, but remember though, all our stats are getting squished, and we don't know how hard the enemies are gonna hit.
That may be true.
Yeah.
However, if we're
For goodness sake, what is that you're wearing? I want to see it.
This would be true, but at the same time, it's like Dark Knight has skills like that too,
Mhm.
and the Blackest Night is still better. So,
Yeah. But I
the
mean,
Blackest Night,
yeah.
it doesn't make any sense why. Maybe I'm just in game.
But it does add another layer of mitigation. Which is good. That means, I mean, the only problem with Dark Knight right now is that it needs to be healed. But in terms of mitigation, it's not really wanting for mitigation. It's really just lacking sustained, like self-sustained.
So it still doesn't have it has the same amount of defense like Rampart, Shadow Wall. All the other tanks have that too. They have their cooldown, and the extra cooldown, that 10%. All the tanks have that too, in different forms and different names,
Right.
So who was
with
that that
added
just typed in the
benefits
chat?
to them.
Forgive
Right.
me. Who was that just typed in the chat? Paladin looked like pansies. The warrior for life. Senior Dirt
That's
Face.
not Rahway, dude. That sounds like Rahway, dude.
It does sound like
Look.
where do I get this? I need to find where I can find this as a
What you
gathering
need?
material. Dimwood. Okay, I need.
Oh,
Oh,
you need
I
mats?
remember.
You need
Huh?
materials? You need materials like I hooked you up with that chicken?
I need.
Wait, is that your Twitch chat?
No,
Wait.
this is a YouTube chat. I see some dude named Senior Dirtface talking about Paladin looks like pansies. The
Isn't that
warrior
Yuhi?
for life.
I don't
Isn't that
see his
Yuhi?
comment.
They look like pansies, though. Warrior for life.
Isn't that Yuhi? Sync?
Yui?
Yeah, because it's the same.
I don't know if that's Yui.
I don't know. It looks similar.
you-
Oh no, it's not. It's not.
Yui
It's
would
like
tell
a
me.
Lalafell.
Yui would tell me if that's Yui.
Yeah. It just looked like the same because it was like the Lalafell, like the red mage hat. But when I look also Lalafell, it's not the.
Oh,
It's not
by the way, Sink, you need some more chicken?
No, I'm good.
You good? You
I'm
good?
good.
Okay.
I'm good.
So I can make that chicken for you.
Oh no, I'm good. I mean, I'm gonna be playing RuneScape later. I'm probably gonna need more chicken.
You play RuneScape, so you on your own.
Oh
Wait,
man,
which RuneScape are you playing?
old school.
Oh.
Don't-
Okay.
Isn't that the obvious game I should be playing?
Yeah. No, I was watching. I don't know if you watched. What do you call this? This anime tuber and streamer called CDog VA.
Yes.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
watch
God.
him.
Him and the Trash Taste podcast boys and Tectone and Iron Mouse. I don't know if you know those last two ones. Were playing just I think over the weekend, just playing RuneScape, and they were doing the that special boss where you like cook fish and then you load up cannons with the cooked fish and you shoot it at him just to like beat him. Yeah,
I hear a lot of funny. I hear a lot of funny things in RuneScape. I don't know them,
Yeah.
but yeah, I saw CDog and a whole bunch of content creators playing RuneScape. I think there was like an Iron Man tournament or something
Oh yeah.
that was happening, and I was like, wait, what's happening? Why is everybody playing RuneScape all of a sudden? And it turns out it was because of a competition.
Oh, okay.
But that and the fact that YouTube was recommending all this RuneScape stuff out of nowhere. Like, I didn't touch a RuneScape video at all, and they were just like, "You probably like RuneScape." I'm like, I've not touched or even thought about RuneScape in over a decade. I don't even touch RuneScape. You know what it was? It was probably Moist Critical, and he went into RuneScape that one time. So
Oh, do you follow Moist Critical?
yeah.
Okay, then that's what it is.
One quick question before we go. For Sync, why do you have a lonely little black mage covering up your game chat?
Because Vivi's the best.
Vivi is the best.
I look at him and I hear, I'm just a lonely black mage, relegated to the backstage. I'm like, he looks so sad.
You know Vivi? He is the best, one of the best characters in Final Fantasy, bar none.
How
Best
dare
people.
you insinuate that I don't know who Vivi is? I mean, come on.
Yeah, you need
I
to.
named my black mage in FF1 Vivi.
You need to play Final Fantasy 9. That's all I really got
No,
to say.
no, I need to not play it again. I played it enough, and I hate that armored dude. He's so fucking ugly.
Listen,
That,
then you should know why Vivi's the
Stone.
best.
I named him Stone all the time. I know why Vivi's the
Steiner.
best.
Steiner's the best.
I named him Stone.
Steiner's
Stone.
the best. You can see his eyelashes. It's amazing.
Oh, when you went there, I mean eyelashes. What are you talking about eyelashes?
You can see his one eyelash. Look at it again. See, you missed
Vivi is God tier.
Steiner. You miss his eyelash.
Vivi is God tier. I already know that. But I'm just saying, why do you have the lowly black mage just sitting there covering up your chat? And like, he's looking at you like, wish daddy would come home.
He's watching my progress, making sure I don't mess up anything.
He's
Yeah.
there to judge silently. That's what
Right?
he means.
He's just sitting there in a patch of mushrooms in his lovely dark night, just like watching me, like, hey, don't fuck up. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Like, don't choke. Don't choke.
I can't res you. I'm not the white mage.
I remember back in the day, it's like, Black Mage, I need you to res me. Got you, bro. I was like, why do Black Mages have a res? And then they took it away. We're like, that's why they had a res.
I'm not going to sit here and gush because I'm going to get on the game myself. But one last thing I do want to gush about is when Mr. Happy revealed the Tower of Zot. I damn near pissed myself in excitement because the Tower of Zot is Golbez's main headquarters in FF4, and we get to fight the Mega Sisters. I mean, they gave us the Calcabrenda doll, and they gave us the Mega Sisters. They gave us the Mist Dragon for crying out loud before. So it's like, when are they gonna fucking give us Golbez? I want Golbez. Give me Golbez to fight. I'm like, seriously, we got the Tower of Zot and the Mega Sisters, who are the servants of Barbarisha, who is one of Golbez's 4 elemental lords that he commands. Come on, Square, stop teasing me.
You can't expect Yoshi P to get into all of the history of Final Fantasy. That's a lot to put in, but
okay,
it's a good expectation to have. I'm not.
I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
I hear you. I hear you. Believe me, I hear you. There's a lot of lore. There's a lot of things to unpack there. I respect that. But come on, we knew Gunbreaker was gonna be in the freaking game back in a realm reborn.
I didn't.
Because, dude, it was obvious because Gaius Van Belsar was a Gunbreaker.
We knew that gunblades would be a weapon. We didn't
Yeah.
know in like what form and what shape. So you're right. However, I will pull that I also thought that there was going to be like a Viking with a hammer or 2 axes.
Then that would just make warriors obsolete. I mean, we got like warriors like, I have a mighty ass when it comes to looking like.
Well, to be technical, I'm thinking the warrior is the Viking.
Perhaps. But yeah, dude, they're teasing us too much because, okay, they gave us the Calcabrenda dolls. They gave us the Mist Dragon, which is the first boss in FF4. Now they're giving us Calcabrenda. Sorry, not Calcabrenda. They're giving us the Magus Sisters. Okay? And the Tower of Zot itself. Come on. That was Golbez's main headquarters.
True.
I have faith that Golbez is going to be put in here at some point. I want to fight him. And I don't care
It's
if
possible. It's a
I don't care
possible.
if it's I don't care if it's a savage raid or anything. I will learn those mechanics.
Never put your expectation all the way through though, because I've learned I've learned more than enough times where Yoshi P be like, "Psych!" And just be.
I know. I love Papa Yoshi, but come on,
Like-
man.
They put in the Mega Sisters. They also, you know what else they also put in? They put in what we call as Big Daddy Lions, and what we what I lovingly like to call you know, a great Final Fantasy X reference, but they also put in the Vera. So and we already have pretty much most of that. We already have most of Ivalice in there. So I'm thinking, maybe Sin would show up somewhere. That's a little bit much to ask for, though, because I can see Golbez. I can see Golbez because they really are going with Final Fantasy IV with a great SD.
Right? You're feeling it, like I am.
Right, but I have to hold my expectation. I will only go with like concrete evidence. Like, no, it's definitely going to be in there when I see enough evidence. Like,
I know.
When I was like, oh, we must. Somebody asked me, I think in Stormblood, like, where are we going next? I was like, you know what? My best guess, since they've already shown it, is possibly the moon. Never thought we would go to another world, but we did, and now we're going to the moon.
We're all about FF4 in this expansion. They gave us the Mega Systems, and now we get to go to the moon. And we found out much earlier that the Namekway from the moon and FF4 are going to be not the Namekway per se in this game, but they're going to be a beast tribe. So come on, they got to at least give go. This is what I want. Go one or all of the above. Golbez, the 4 elemental lords, or Zemus/Zeromus as fights. Any of those will do for me right now.
I'm thinking that might be a raid tier, if anything.
Oh hell yeah, Zeromus!
But that will also mean that we would have to have something to relate to Golbez, so it has to be a character with a reference to Final Fantasy IV.
And my man, bro,
what's up,
compadre? They gave us Kefka.
Yeah.
So why not Golbez? Come on.
Okay, let's be technical. Let's be technical here. Let's be technical here. All right. Each tier in Omegas, like, we didn't know what we were getting, right? Like, every time Omega came out with a new tier for the raids, he was just like, oh yeah, so about this clown dude. We're like, what? Because we figured it might be something because of the train, but remember, they set it out in 4s, so we didn't know we were going to get Kefta. We didn't know we were going to get X-Death. We didn't know we were going to get Chaos. Jesus Christ, Chaos.
So it's like, okay, come on. Did you give us Kefka? And they teased us. They teased us by name alone with Sephiroth. All they did was drop the H. And that would have had the fangirls squealing like pigs.
Wait, you say Sephiroth or Sephiroth?
Sephiroth. All you have to do is add an H. They knew what they were doing with that team.
So, Sephiroth's an actual... Yeah. No, Sephiroth's an actual boss from Final Fantasy VI.
Oh, I know, but here's the thing, though. Now that we know this, that a lot of people can treat that as a tease. Because if that's the case, and it's that, then that just means they were damn lazy coming up with names because all they did was have H to give it simple.
No, that's a little. Yeah, that's a bit reachy. You can't
because we had their names in what do you call this in Final Fantasy VI already.
That's
already had those names.
Yeah, that's a reach. You can't really connect those two.
I will agree it could be reachy, but at the same time, I'm still in this for hype because when I heard the music, when they first played the music, I heard the trailers, I damn near squealed. When I heard the scenes and the Mega Sisters, I'm like, come on, man, Yoshi, you were dangling a hot chocolate in front of me. You were dangling pizza in front of me on a string, and I'm like 2 feet away from it. Stupid.
Yeah, but just curb your expectations. Don't set yourself up for a disappointment. Because remember, we got Calcabrina a long time ago.
I know, you're right. You're absolutely right.
You need
to set them up. I promise, but I still want it.
Of course, but just don't set yourself up to disappointment.
Yeah.
So that's all we're saying, basically.
So if I may, then the way I see it is, it's a tease. They could come out with it 2 to 4 years later, as long as it's sometime within my lifetime. That's all I want.
Everything's a possibility, but do not temper your expectation, is what I should say. So get clues first, then have that wishful thinking so that you don't get disappointed later. Like, I always say, like, oh, you know what, Sephiroth being in the game would be kind of cool. However, they would have to find some way to put him in, and it wouldn't be easy because the only reference to Final Fantasy VII is through like minions, the bike, outfit. They haven't really had like content where Cloud shows up and just start whooping.
There's no Miko. There's no, you know, I mean, like the match here is different.
If I may, they put him in Kingdom Hearts for crying out loud. So FF14 shouldn't be typical.
But what does that have to do with 14?
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, they put it in Kingdom Hearts, a game with virtually no relatable story. So, you know, it shouldn't be difficult in FF14.
But, like, okay, here's my question to that. What does Kingdom Hearts have anything to do with 14? And if it's Square Enix and Final Fantasy, that's...
No. What I'm using that Kingdom Hearts as a reference. Like, if you could stick a major FF character in a game like Kingdom Hearts, then you know you should be able to have a little bit more brain power to be able to put it into Final Fantasy 14. Now, there's references galore. Everybody knows that. What I'm saying is, it's like Kingdom Hearts, especially Kingdom Hearts 3, has gotten so much negative feedback, especially when they dropped the FF characters from it. So you got a game that revolves around the mixture of Disney and Final Fantasy. So can we get a little more of that in FF14 is what I'm saying.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fine to ask.
Yeah, that's fine. Like we said, like anything is possible, but you know, they have to try and make it work with the story. See, the thing is, with the difference is with Sephiroth and the FF characters in the Kingdom Hearts games, that was established from the very first game, whereas this game has like 11 years worth of lore, because it came out in 2010. It has 11 years worth of lore already.
And that's where I'm suspicious, because we don't know this. This is a theory that I will surmise for another day. I am suspicious, thinking, this is my thought process, they know what they want to do many, many years beforehand, and are just holding it away.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I think, you know, they have these plans set way years in advance, but they're just sprinkling it in.
You want to know something? A Realm Reborn being the story that will come after is like the continuation, but altered from 1.0 because of what they had to do. They made the story from there go, from what I've heard, it went into Stormblood. And Shadowbringers, like everything that they've done, they've always made beforehand, which is the reason why he said, even though Endwalker is coming, that doesn't mean that's the end of the story. So it's very possible that your theories could come to pass in some form or fashion. So it's very possible. I would say, I have to think about like the logistics of having Sephiroth in the game as well, because he's a very...
I don't want him. I just thought of the idea of having him in there. I don't want him.
Like, there's...
Golbez.
Golbez would be more reasonable to put into the game.
Golbez would be much more reasonable.
Like, that's more realistic. And even the final boss of 4, that's more realistic.
Zeramus,
there's more realistic, because Sephiroth is a little too op.
You know what's even more realistic than Sephiroth? Any character from Soul Calibur. I'm not lying to you, okay? So Soul Calibur not only has 2B, like Soul Calibur 6, but also it has Noctis. And those two were in Final Fantasy 14 already.
Right.
So it's more likely that a Soul Calibur character will come here over Sephiroth.
That's... They didn't think about it, yeah. I mean, who would have thought that Nier Automata and Monster Hunter...
I know, but the thing is, Nier Automata is canon.
That's the scary part about it, because it is canon.
It's canon.
So it's not like, oh, there's a one shot story. Like, bro, no, this all happened within the story.
Yeah, so if 2B is canon to Soul Calibur 6, then we're screwed. If 2B is canon to Soul Calibur 6, we are so screwed, people. We are so screwed.
Oh man. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Kyla.
It would be really nice.
Ooh, it would be nice. Yeah, it would be nice. I would say, since they're throwing in the Mega Sisters and we already have Final Fantasy X references, I don't care for Tidus. I would love to see an Auron. I would like to see if they could fit in Sin in some sort of way, where he's like catastrophically huge and we have to take out parts of him.
Big people are still clamoring for Blitzball.
I am too. Yeah, I am. But Yoshi P did say that he acknowledges people want Blitzball in the game. The hard part is that, you know, 14 has noodle, the noodle code that we have here.
We have no solutions. We have no
want it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He acknowledges he want it, but will he give it?
Will he give? Well, he has to try.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I'm pretty sure like the man wants to give us whatever he can, but again, we're dealing with crap code from the start. We're dealing with crap base code. All I know is that it was a technical marvel that they were actually able to get us to swim.
Right.
It was a technical marvel that they were able to let us swim in this game.
Somebody.
I'm feeling we're gonna have battles underwater at some point. I just have this weird feeling.
I don't know.
If we did, I mean, if we could have had battles, they probably would have done it anyway.
They would have had it done in Stormbringers. Stormbringers.
I like that. Stormbringer sounds like a great expansion. I'm like
Stormbringers.
What was that? What was the thing called again? Stormblood.
But yeah, no, that's the fact of it. This noodle code that they could have, like, if they were to switch out or enhance this, they would have to take, like, they're gonna have to make this offline or make this in some sort of way. They say, hey, look, this is the biggest thing we've got. They have to have beta testers in it for the worlds and stuff and see how it works.
Yeah,
like they literally took their Crystal engine, broke it.
Yeah, they did.
And had to like reframe it so that it would work on like lower specs because, you know, we don't want barrels, you know, breaking our computers anymore.
No, just because they had a higher polygon count than any of the characters or NPCs. Which is saying a lot because you remember like the hair from like 1.0?
Yes.
From the NPCs. It's amazing, right? It's like, can you imagine the freaking barrels had more polygons?
Like the freaking the pots and the barrels were just like know. How many polygons?
No, that's what stupid. It's like, but wait, they have more polygons than the character models, the amazing character models that we had.
Yeah, the not moving pots and barrels.
Yeah, I was like, why?
Somebody really wanted his potted plants and barrels to be noticed.
They wanted full immersion. They wanted a full deep dive immersion.
They're like, you better notice these plants. And we're like, we see them. We can't unsee them because every time I look at it, I'm lagging.
Every time I'm looking at it, I'm loading.
I swear, Saint, I wanted to leave, but you're making me want to stay because of how funny you are.
It's not me, man. It's not me. There's a co-host here who's really co-signing very well.
Which one is your co-host?
Either one could be my co-host.
I don't want your co-host. I'm not. Well, I am, but I'm not into him because I don't know who he is.
Well, all due respect, you're a guest, and the co-host are here is Last Order and Pokey, since I know them. But yeah, Kayla, let's add you to the list. We're gonna make you a co-host. All right, you're gonna have all this responsibility in the Discord now.
No, you'll be alright.
You're gonna have to show up to the meeting once a week, and I expect you to be in full dressed up clothing, even though I don't see you. So
you can expect all the fuck you want. It's not gonna happen.
I don't want to put this on your dossier, sir.
No, please. If you say dossier, and I think Mass Effect 2 automatically, stop it. My Mass Effect 2 thoughts have been triggered. I'm shutting them down.
Oh man. Other than that, I think
Think when are we gonna do our collab video of Final Fantasy 14 versus Terra?
Oh, when you play the game again.
Did you mean Terra from Kingdom Hearts?
Yes, that's the one.
Yes.
No, from Final Fantasy 6. From Final Fantasy 6, that Terra.
Oh,
The only Terra that counts. Yeah.
You know what? I agree. Because Terra from Kingdom Hearts is basically Anakin Skywalker before Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, that's right. I've been playing again. I haven't been playing for 3 weeks, but it's only been 3 weeks. It's all good. It's all good.
Dude, the whole fucking thing is Star Wars. I swear to God.
Of course. That's
And
a lot
was before Disney. That was before Disney bought out Star Wars too. They were ripping it off.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people. I'm
Kingdom
pretty sure.
Hearts 3. Sorry, Birth by Sleep came out before Star Wars was bought out by Disney.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people copied off of each other.
But I know they did. I'm just saying, Disney did it right by copying them and buying them the fuck out.
Are you telling me that you're one of those crazy people who think Street Sharks copied Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
How dare you? First of all, these are street sharks. They are aquatic creatures that go and ruin streets.
You ain't helping your case here. Turtles are aquatic creatures too.
No, those are clearly tortoises, though.
Those turtles are from like ponds and lakes. We're talking about oceanic sharks, man.
Yeah, man. Salt water.
They eat everything, and they're cool being mutated from humans instead of turtles mutated by aliens.
So hilarious, man.
Have you not like I think they were, if I'm going to speak seriously, I think Street Sharks was supposed to be the direct competition, but they were too 90s for them to survive. And the turtles were like so neutral that they can fit anywhere in any era.
I was freaking out, like the sharks were wearing like torn up like jean like shorts that were like so in the 90s. I was like, yeah, that's not how that's
And the way they talk, they're like, yeah, dude, all of them, which is like, that's totally tubular. And I'm like, bruh.
Well, let's not forget their catchphrase. Jawsome is so much more relevant. And so much more relevant than cowabunga.
And
okay,
remember, you gotta remember their most hated food is pizza. You know that has to matter, guys.
I think that was just a coincidence. That wasn't like a a silent message, right? That wasn't like a.
Duh, it was. Come on.
Was it though? Was it?
It was totally a coincidence. Totally.
Totally.
Stop lying to yourself, dude.
No, totally a coincidence.
Stop. No. Shh. It's okay. It's okay. Pixie dust. Pixie dust. No. Shh. Pixie dust. It's okay. It's okay. They ripped them off. Just be honest with yourself. Just be honest with yourself. It happens.
What are you talking about? They're totally original ideas. They're four teenagers with attitudes.
Think, do I have to put you in the psychiatrist's couch too?
Sync, our new co-host is invalidating our opinions. I feel attacked. I feel personally attacked.
Was it something I said? Tell me what it is so I can say it again.
Bring in the seniority rules.
How dare you bring up the truth? I don't like the truth.
I mean, in all cases, yeah, turtles spoke just like the 90s, but guess what they also did? They changed with the times and they survived.
I don't like how they changed now, though. They're kind of weird now.
The new turtles?
Yeah, they're a little bit weird.
I've never seen them.
They're
because
just,
I'm still stuck. I still like the Nickelodeon version. That's where I stopped.
They're too try-hard edgy now. In the beginning of the Turtles was actually like violent, like crazy.
Yeah.
Like the very first comic, yeah.
The very first comic, yeah. They killed. Didn't they kill Shredder in like the first episode? Yeah,
it was so bloody. It was so violent. It was like,
I remember when the cartoon Turtles had like that multi-universe collision. And they met up with like the 90s Turtles and the first Turtles, Turtles Prime. And Turtles Prime was too hardcore for everybody. They were like, what are they, 4 Raphaels? I'm like, oh no.
No, 4 Michelangelos. That's what it was. And that was terrible. Because they weren't that stupid. I mean, in the original Turtles, they each had a personality. In this version, they had Michelangelo.
So the the 90s turtles they were all, you know, 90s kids with their different personalities, but the first
OGs.
turtles, the OG
Yeah.
turtles, were just like all hardcore stoic, like a mix of like Raphael, Leonardo, like they didn't give a
Like
shit for
Deadly.
anything.
Yeah, they're just like Stone Cold Killer Turtles.
Really?
Yeah, and that's how they were in the original comic book. They really were. Like there was no. It was just a joke comic. It's like, hey, what if we have these turtles killing people?
Come on. They were narrating themselves in that movie special.
Right, they had monologues.
They were monologuing. How the fuck do they do that?
They're like, they were like, we see the imposter, and I go in for a high-flying kick. He trips over himself and wondering, how is this happening? I then take my sword.
Donatello was like a detective. Something like that.
Huh?
So wasn't this Donatello wearing the detective coat and stuff? Was that what this was? Like in the first movie? I remember something like that.
I don't think so. I don't think
No?
so. No. I don't think so.
What am I remembering? I'm remembering something. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Either way, the first turtles were gory as hell.
Oh yeah.
And then they decided to bring something of that back with Turtles in the comics, showing them in the future, where
Yeah.
Michelangelo was like
Yeah.
the last one to survive.
They effed up Donatello so bad in those comics, man. It's like,
They're like,
oh my god.
he was like, Mikey, what are you doing here? And it's like future April, and we're like, Mikey, oh my god, is he the only survivor? And it's just like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah, but no, like the comics, like the later comics, like yeah, like literally they show. You know how like RoboCop was killed, right?
Yeah.
They did the same thing to Donatello,
Damn.
and then they turned him into a cyborg turtle. It's like, but they showed the whole beating up and like killing scene thing too in the two comics. Like, how? It's like,
Damn.
okay. Yeah, so Donatello was so messed up in that comic series.
And then, goddamn, like
My childhood was broken when I saw those.
they wanted that hardcore, just like
Yeah, bring it back to the originals.
even worse, just like shoot. What's even? It's like, I don't know. People just like that gritty, dark, sad situation, and I'm looking at them like I don't even know if I can keep going. It's pretty hard.
Well, if you will excuse me, I do have to go. I'm going to be dungeon running with some buddies. I don't suppose you want to. DPS for me, Sync?
DPS. I'm a healer.
Thinking,
I'm a healer now.
do you want to heal for me then?
Nah, I'm about to.
Alright, then.
Yeah, I'm about to end it off. Oh wait, the constellations. I forgot about that.
You said I'm about to end it all. Like, are you going to die? Don't die on me, dude. Not today. Not yet.
Don't worry. Listen, I'll just revive at an ether rate. I'm good.
All right, that's fine. So I'll talk to y'all later.
Motherfucker,
see
the
you.
moon
Okay.
is getting closer.
All right, peace.
Peace. The moon is getting closer.
What do you mean?
The moon itself is getting closer to us.
Are you sure you're not on some kind of mushroom?
I swear the moon
Are you
is
sure?
I swear the moon is getting closer.
Maybe zoom out a little bit.
Like, I remember, but I don't know if, no, you probably weren't there during 1.0 where the moon was getting closer.
No, I already quit by that time. I quit just as Ifrit wasn't like introduced.
Okay.
That's when it started implementing the subscription. It's like, I'm not paying for this crap, so I left.
Yeah, I kept going, and
Yeah.
the red moon was getting larger.
Mm.
Until the music started, I was like, I knew it! The red moon is larger! Like, this is the same thing. I swear this moon itself is getting larger. I swear it. It looks bigger. For whatever reason, it just looks bigger.
I don't know, Sync. Like, I'm looking at my phone right now, but it looks smaller than normal whenever I play. I don't know. It could be my cell phone, but it just looks small.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know what kind of lens you're using.
Well, who knows? Maybe it is getting bigger, but that would. I mean, it's not like Elidibus is using the. No, Elidibus is dead. Wait, Elidibus is dead, right? It's not like they're gonna use the moon to like crash into us.
You know, a lot of people thinking that's what's happening. The moon's gonna crash into a planet.
Who do you think? What is his name? What is his name? Fandaniel? That's a horrible name. Does anybody? it's a really horrible name. It's like, what the hell? And the funny thing is, right?
Okay, and Laha Breha is any better?
La Brea is like it's so. What the hell?
Lahi.
La Brea sounds cool. It's like La Brea like tar pits, but they added the ha in it.
Laha.
Yeah.
I literally laugh at you.
Yeah, La Brea.
Laha.
I'm a Fandaniel. What the hell is a Fandaniel?
I don't know. I'm not disagreeing with you. Fandaniel is kind of weird.
What's a wasted opportunity? What's a wasted thing? Is that if I originally thought his name was Fandango, which for me would have been so much better, because in Genshin Impact there is a character that looks like Asahi. His name is Scaramouche. So if this guy's name was Fandango, I was like, oh my god. Scaramouche, will you do the Fandango? It's like, oh my god, they're connected.
Oh my god. How many did I get? I got so many vines while we were talking. Jeez.
So close, man.
So close. I hope the numbers, and I hope everything will be fine as soon as we get to Endwalker for Dark Knight at the very least. I hope.
Well, I'm pretty sure like the people who went to the media tour would have had their input taken. So I'm pretty sure there were some Dark Knight players there too.
I need to know. I need to know
but
because
they're gonna change it.
Like, I'm just saying, if all the other tanks have better sustains all around, because Soul Eater is not going to do anything, and Abyssal Drain isn't going to do anything.
Yeah, but see how they can balance that, how they can balance Dark Knight is give them more damage, because lore-wise, Dark Knight should be doing damage. Like, that is their thing. Like, they hurt themselves.
They don't have that. Paladin out-damages them already.
No, but that's the thing, right? That's the thing. Since Paladin, Warrior, and seems like Gunbreaker has a little bit more self-sustain too. Did they add more self-sustain to Gunbreaker?
So Gunbreaker's shield...
Or is it still about the same?
Yeah, Gunbreaker's shield also heals upon giving it. So, yeah, they have more sustain as well.
Yeah, so... Yeah, they could just add more, because Dark Knight can then be the more DPS focused one. Because otherwise it's not going to be viable.
Now, more damage on Dark Knight, I'd be glad, but I'm also about that fairness, right? Like, if you're at this one point doing one of your 5 ticks of actually being serious at this point, then
this is my 4th, yes.
Okay, I got one more left. Then I don't want Dark Knight to have just more damage. I want it to be also like I don't want its damage to be the only thing valuable about it.
Right.
It's just Gunbreaker is already looking like it should be a DPS, right?
Yeah.
And from how it works, it looks like it'd still be the top dog in DPS. And that's what it looks like it's supposed to be, a big ol' attacker. Warrior's supposed to be the one that goes crazy, but can't put down because it just has too much health.
Yep.
And Paladin looks like it's the overall OG tank. Has everything.
Yeah.
All of them. So, where does Dark Knight lie? I mean...
Well, I mean,
where do they lie, man?
It's supposed to be an off tank, because we can clearly see that the Paladin and the Warrior are taking the main tank spots.
Right.
So, as an off tank, I would like Dark Knight to actually do more damage.
That makes sense.
Because it's an off tank.
I'll also would like it to have then more party support then. And it does in the form of like the Blackest Night.
Well, if you party up with a paladin, the paladin can give the party support while the Dark Knight focuses on the DPS.
That's also
it
true.
Still works, right? You just do not want to pair up a Dark Knight with, let's say, maybe, definitely not a Gunbreaker, or maybe a Warrior, because the Dark Knight Paladin combo, if they change the Dark Knight to more damage centric, Dark Knight would very much be a great counterpart to the Paladin.
Well, here's the thing. Every tank should be able to solo or take on hard content as main tanks. That's the thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And all the tanks, for the exception of Dark Knight, have pretty good sustains on themselves. Even shields. Especially Paladin. And with Warrior having its upgrades, it's looking like it just won't ever go down. Plus it has a little bit more damage to it, so it's definitely going to have that reach. Gunbreaker has damage, and even though it doesn't have like the best cooldowns, right? It doesn't have the best cooldowns. It still has like the backup of its invuln being okay.
Yeah.
You know,
and its cooldowns are frequent enough.
Right.
Yeah.
So even though Gunbreaker looks like it should be an off tank at all times, it could still sustain itself as a main tank. Now, Dark Knight seems like it wants to be everything, but it doesn't have anything of like that's the best of any of it. Like it seems like it wants to be all shares of a tank. And I feel as though it's lost its place, really. Like what I fear, and I don't know if that's gonna happen. It's just a fear. It's not a guarantee.
Yeah.
That when I get into end game content, people are gonna be like, "Now we favor other tanks more, right?" Like it's like we need the Paladin. And what Yoshi P and his goal was, and he said this before, he wanted all tanks to be viable in all cases.
Right, but they also said that they want 2 clearly defined main tanks and 2 clearly defined off tanks. That's what
true.
They also said, though.
That's true, but if you're going to choose between an off tank that does a heaping amount of damage and can sustain itself in its own right, between an off tank that doesn't do a lot of damage, in fact, it does the lowest amount of damage, but we don't know that until we get into Endwalker, but doesn't have its own good sustain itself. Even though it's like, oh, it's not the main tank, you shouldn't pay too. The off tank lately has to do the stuff in Savage, right? They have to. They also take damage. Then you're going to choose the one that can actually sustain itself. It has more survivability. You don't have to put in all that hard work because healer DPS counts.
Yep. But at the same time, it looks like the Warrior and Paladin healing, self-healing, is going to be too much if they're not taking constant damage. It seems like it's a little overkill. So in some senses, the off-tank role could be relegated to them. Like it's not even a matter of main tank versus off-tank. It's more of a matter who's taking the most consistent damage. They should be tanking this mechanic. Whoever takes less damage but can do more damage in return should be tanking these kind of mechanics. That kind of a mindset, you know what I mean? Like going away from main tank, off tank, and more of, okay, this thing can take more damage, go do this. This thing takes less damage but can dish out more damage and kill something faster, do this.
So that's still Paladin and Warrior, because Paladin
not necessarily.
Paladin, it's basically now healing itself for every other thing it does. And Warrior's just healing itself nonetheless.
But it looks like the Paladin's numbers are dropping from this patch, though.
I'd say it's not really dropping.
No, its self-sustain is rising, but its DPS numbers are... It's not going up as in the same amount as, say, for example, Warriors are, or probably Gunbreaker is. You know?
What do you mean by that? Because it looks like its DPS is still, like, roughly where it is right now.
Right, but how about the other 3?
Well, okay.
I mean, for sure, Dark Knight is not really a thing because like it's neglected. But like, well, how about Warrior and Gunbreaker? I think their damage is going up, isn't it?
Yeah, Warrior and Gunbreaker's damage are going up. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Paladins is also going up.
Is
So yeah, so especially with its 3 full Confiteors, which does 1020 by itself, Confiteor itself is still 450, and you're in Requiescat. So you're in Requiescat in the first form of Confiteor, so you're doing more damage with the first Confiteor, but that does eat your Requiescat. So when you're going into the 3 other Confiteors, you're doing
halved.
So it's like 250, 350, and 420.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and those are just and it's not boosted either.
Right. Those are not boosted, but they still, if they come together, there's still that amount. There's still a good amount of damage altogether.
Yeah.
And remember, you're right about the warrior, because warrior's crit hit and direct hit is guaranteed.
Yeah.
In that case, and it's 700. So it's doing a hefty amount of damage with that.
Yeah.
And Gunbreaker has and I know this is going to change, a 1200 hit. That's definitely changing. That's not staying the same.
Not necessarily. What's the warrior's not Felcleave, but the other one that they introduced in Shadowbringers, because that one was high like potency as well. There's Felcleave, and then there's one after that, the one where you're using inner release.
Yeah, I know.
To access. I can't remember what the hell that was called though.
So I think
because that was over 1,000 something potency.
Yeah. That was Inner Chaos.
Yeah. Saying you can spam 5 of those. Well, no, you can spam one of those.
So yeah, that was over 1,000 potency, but originally it's at 920. But it delivers crit direct hit guarantees. So yeah.
So a 1200 like potency on, on not guaranteed to direct hit or crit. I think that's fine.
So,
right? I mean, if it does direct crit, oh my god. But if it doesn't,
well, which one were we talking about?
No, like the Gunbreaker.
The Gunbreaker? No,
it's... You know how it has 1200 potency hit?
It's not guaranteed, but if it does hit crit and direct hit, that's high. It's pretty high. I mean, sure, you could... Sure, that's if, but even that if, right?
No. You're forgetting something, right? Tanking gear does not have direct hit naturally.
That's true. That's true.
Right?
That's still... I mean, that's still... For Gunbreaker...
very low.
That's still for Gunbreaker, that's still 1,200, though. Which is subject to change.
Right.
That's still a high amount of damage. And especially with continuation... I think. Go ahead.
I'm just thinking it's not too far off. It's not like the other classes aren't too far. I mean, at least Paladin and Warrior are not too far off with what they have.
I would say
with that one hit.
I would say, you know what? I would say they aren't too far off. I would still say Gunbreaker has the highest DPS.
It's single target, right? For the Gunbreaker.
For the Gunbreaker, no.
Yeah. That 1200 potency is AOE?
Yeah. I think so. Let me check.
If it is, that's overpowered.
Let me check, because it might be different.
If it's single target, yeah, but if it's AOE, then that is overpowered. That's a whole new different story.
Because it might be single target. I might be wrong.
Okay.
I think I am wrong. I'll double check though.
Okay.
Double check. Doubly the checking now.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Wait, what the heck? Whoa. Okay. I'm sorry. Did I see that correctly?
Right.
It's called Double Down, and no, it's oh my god. They're going to change this. It delivers an attack to all nearby enemies with a potency of 1200.
All nearby enemies.
All nearby enemies, and 20% less for all remaining enemies.
So is it after the first hit?
After the first hit, yes.
20% less.
For all of remaining enemies, yes.
So it's still 80% of the. That's too strong.
Well, that's what I'm reading. I like I said, that I think they're gonna change that because
They better.
that's
way too strong.
That's 1,200. And I get it. It doesn't have guaranteed crit and direct hit, but that's
AoE.
huh?
It's AoE. That's the thing. I'm not just thinking about like boss fights here. I'm thinking about like the overall package, right? In overall balance. That's freaking AoE. Even 80% of 1,200 is huge.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
What the heck were they thinking?
I think they wanted Gunbreaker to do the most amount of damage. That's what I
Oh
think.
my God.
I think they wanted them to be the damage tank. And
Well, if that's the case, they should remove some of its utility because it has quite a lot of utility for a damage tank.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. They should honestly. This is what I think they should go for the Dark Knight, if anything. Dark Knight should have a Soul Eater that has a higher potency in its return for curing.
Mhm.
Higher, like much higher.
Right.
And in turn, right? To even it out, they could still have MP being taken away, right? Because the traditional Dark Knight would have its HP taken away for its damage. But
Right.
since you don't want that, you don't want to do
Why
that.
not?
You don't want to do that.
Trust out your healers more.
They can take away more MP for its sustain, or if anything, to make it fair, because every other tank looks like they're good. Just give it that at the very least. Have it have the one single exchange for like a regular 1-2-3 combo. That third hit, give it a large amount of HP back, like an extremely large amount of HP, because Abyssal Drain is the only other sustain that they have.
That's every 60 seconds.
Every 60 seconds, and that's pretty small. It's only 200.
Yeah.
And that's nothing. And
Yep.
again, every 60 seconds. So they're probably banking on everybody using the Blackest Night all the time. And no, that's
Right. No, that doesn't work that way.
those definitely does not work that way. It kind of puts a hindrance on the healer at a point there, because I know they want healers to be healers, but just healing is not fun for a healer. They want to. They also want to be able to put in their damage.
I mean, unless they make the fights so that there's no telling when the damage is gonna come in, then that's exciting for a healer.
True.
But they won't, because that's hard to program,
Right.
and their code probably
can't
can't handle it.
Right. Because at this point, the Dark Knight is more or less like a pet that they have to take care of in a dungeon.
Pretty much.
Or in a
So like,
savage.
since they're planning to go that route, might as well increase the Dark Knight damage.
Increase the Dark Knight damage, and at least for Soul Eater, give it like an incredibly large amount of cure returns, some sort of health returns, because they only have 2. In all seriousness, they only have 2. The blood weapon doesn't siphon HP anymore, so
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
like that's the one thing I'm confused about. Like, blood weapon was so much better back in the past.
Right.
Abyssal Drain was so, they should, if that, or just give Abyssal Drain back, you know?
Exactly. Abyssal Drain would be really helpful.
Abyssal Drain, this is what I meant by like Abyssal Drain was broken.
Yeah.
Tanks in the past would just gather a huge mob and just.
Yeah. So here's how maybe Abyssal Drain could work. Maybe it has like an internal cooldown saying that it doesn't trigger it doesn't trigger more than once every blah 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 seconds. So if you have a group, it'll only trigger one heal in that group. You know what I mean?
It only triggers one heal?
So, yeah, regardless of how many enemies you hit, it only triggers one heal every use.
I mean, that's what the 200 HP gets right now. That's really what it is.
I know, but at least there's no cooldown. You get it. At least there's no cooldown.
Okay.
At least it's just a GC. Was it a GCD before? It wasn't, was it?
No, it wasn't a
But
GCD.
they could change it to a GCD.
They could change it to a GCD.
Yeah.
And they would have to up the HP you get back though.
Oh yeah. But I mean, like, yeah, so that they prevent the what do you call this? The exploitation it once had before. Change it to a good amount of HP, but only have it trigger once per use.
Blood weapon's still poop. Blood weapon will always be poop from what I can tell.
Yeah.
And the changes are just, they are kind of sad.
It's neglected, that's all it is. They didn't really put much thought into it. That's what it feels anyway.
And like I said, watch, people are going to be like, yeah, Dark Knight kind of suck. And Yoshi P's going to look at that and be like, yeah, it does kind of suck. Because he said the same thing about Summoner, and he even said he was like, Summoner was apparently called the Dot Mage, and we were like, we don't want that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's not the identity of a summoner.
We don't want it to be a Dot Mage. We want it to be a Summoner. Okay, we're gonna change it. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see.
Watch you start spending health instead of increasing.
They change it to HP. Oh, that'd be worse. That would destroy us. Like, you know what?
It's like
you know
got
what?
The message wrong.
You know what? You know what they could do? It's probably can't be coded in that well, but they could expenditure their health. Like whenever they use their health, like a white bar is in place of how much health they use, and if it goes under a certain point, they take a bit more damage than they should until they get all that health back by using certain other moves. So it's like a risk reward kind of thing.
That would work. It's like the health bar mechanics of kind of like a fighting game kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That would work.
Kind of like
It's like I scratched myself. That area's tender. If you hit me there again, it's gonna hurt me even more.
like what's the game? Killer Instinct.
Yeah, Killer Instinct.
Some characters can give up their health, but in place of that health bar is like a white bar or red bar, and if they get hit, it's permanently gone.
yeah.
And it just like gradually comes back slowly.
It recovers. Yeah, that would work actually. If they can do it with this system. I don't know if they can though.
That would be a very interesting tank.
Yeah.
I would.
And again, though, they can do shields like the shield bar thingy. So I don't think it's too out of the.
It's not too out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too out of the ordinary. I think they could do it. Somebody would have to go into that mess of a code though.
I don't think anyone would.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. He's still deafened, so Pokey, he can't hear me. But I'm gonna disconnect him because I'm about to take my leave.
You're about to head out? Okay.
Well, nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you too. You should crash my streams once in a while. I'm apparently a VTuber now because I have an avatar and everything.
Oh, that's cool. If I'm not working at the time.
What time is it? What's your schedule like again? Is it 8 to 4?
Yeah, it's 8 to 4.
Okay.
And I want it to stay as 8 to 4, but there's work to be done. Sometimes I have to overtime it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
All right. I'll see you later.
Good catching up with you. Okay, see you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Alright, and as for the stream, have a good night. I'll see y'all next time. Don't know when I'm going to stream next time, but I will stream some other time, maybe at the end of this week. Have a good night or have a good morning. I'll see y'all later.